Kriya Babaji Namo. Kriya Babaji Namo. Kriya Babaji Namo. Kriya Babaji Namo. Kriya Babaji Namo.
Welcome to our May 14th live stream here at the Kriya Yoga School. We are lucky enough to be joined by Veronica today. But before we get into it, let's give you some information. So first of all, if you want to start practicing Kriya Yoga and you don't know where to start, you could practice 100% free. Just go to www.kriyayogamasterclass.com. 100% free. And you could discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga. Next, if you want, you could book a call with me and we could get on a call live on Zoom and solve all your problems. So go to that website, kriyayogamasterclass.com, and book a call with me 100% free. So that is kriyayogamasterclass.com. And if you want to get straight into the Kriyas and start practicing right away, go to Kriya Yoga School Masterclass. We're 50% off, $50 per month, or the real value, $250 a year. And you could get personalized coaching with me. We have a live class every Saturday, which is very profound. Usually goes 2 hours. And we have also weekly Satsang, and we have a very interactive community, and we have a lot of classes in the classroom, mudras, asanas, pranayamas, and everything is great. So I hear my alarm going off in the background that it's time to do our sad song. So let me turn that off a second.
It's time.
Pours when it rains, it pours. Okay. All right, back to it. So these things even happen to Vedagurudev too. So how you doing today, Veronica? Let's get into it.
Yeah, great to be back to our weekly Satsang. I wasn't here last week due to my work schedule. So, I was touched. Everybody noticed my absence. It was that I wasn't here, so that touched me. So, but it's good to be back and I don't know, have our weekly conversations. I missed it. So I guess Paul said I'm your trusty sidekick. So I guess you're Batman and I'm Robin. So we're gonna
I'm
fill
Baba
those.
G and you're Mata G.
Yeah, that sounds better. So I guess we'll start filling those empty Kriya Yoga cups with the spirit of Kriya Yoga with our great conversations. So I'm
great
excited
to have you back, Veronica. It
Yeah.
just wasn't the same without you. A lot
But
of
you
getting up and seeing my stomach in the camera, answering comments.
You did great. So, but I'm happy to be back. So yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back also.
Thank you. Did you want to do the Porni Sudi and we'll get relaxed and then we'll just dive right in?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just do Porni Sudi and get relaxed, get our mind in a state of stillness and calmness, and then we could get into it. So Purnasudi, complete yogic breath, is the easy way to start your day and end your day. It really calms your mind and your body. So basically, have a straight spine. If you don't know how to straighten your spine, imagine a string on top of your head. Pull that string up. Bring your shoulders back, chest expanded, and slowly and gently close your eyes. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale through both nostrils like a wave coming into the shore. Exhale through both nostrils like a wave going out to the ocean. Slowly and gently in one continuous rhythm with no breath retention. Breathe in the new fresh air through both nostrils. Breathe out the old stale air through both nostrils. If a thought comes into your mind, just witness it, acknowledge it, detach, and let it go. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Become one with your breath. Few more breaths. Inhale through both nostrils like a wave coming into the shore. Exhale through both nostrils like a wave going out to the ocean. When you focus your awareness on your breath, your distractions, your thoughts have no chance. If a thought comes into your mind, just witness it, acknowledge it, detach, and let it go. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Few more breaths. Inhale the new fresh air through both nostrils. Exhale the old stale air through both nostrils. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. When you're ready to finish, slowly and gently open your eyes. Come back to your surroundings. Contemplate how you feel inside you as you. This concludes our practice of Purnasudi, complete yogic breath. Purnasudi is an excellent way to start your day. When you wake up, just sit on the side of your bed, take a couple deep breaths, give you the energy to start your day, and it's an excellent way to end your day before you go to sleep. Really calming and relaxing your body, getting rid of all the distractions before you go to sleep. That concludes our practice of Purnasudi. Namaste, Paul. How are you today?
Namaste.
Namaste. I'm doing well. Batman and Robin.
You got it.
Yeah, Veronica's back. Batman and Robin.
Well,
Babaji and Mataji.
yeah. For the Kriya Yoga School, Babaji and Mataji.
Sounds good.
So something I've noticed that I've been doing, like during meditations, I don't even think about it, but it just crossed my mind. I'm like, my eyes are closed, but I'm just automatically like looking up with my eyes closed. So I noticed, I don't know, and I remember we've talked about that, but it was just something I just do automatically now. And like, I like to keep my solar panels up, but is there a difference up or down, or does it even matter? I don't know. It seems more powerful up, but
in the yogic perspective, they would say keep your palms up, like you said, like your solar panels up, so you can absorb more of the prana in the atmosphere and the Shakti, the energy. So same way a solar panel is getting energy from the sun, that is the same way your body would get nourishment from the prana and the air in the atmosphere and from nature. So that's why they would say keep it up. I mean, but you could just do the way that makes you feel the most comfortable, because that's probably the best thing to do. If you're in a comfortable, relaxed state, you're going to have a more dynamic meditation, a more profound meditation. So comfort and relaxation is probably the most important key in the beginning. And I would just say, if you just do it however you feel the most comfortable. You know, some people, they just keep getting in a relaxed state. Like the more you do it, the more it becomes natural. And it's the same thing with the eyes. Like in the beginning, it's a little bit strenuous to kind of always roll your eyes up and focus on your crown or focus on your third eye. But the more you do it, the more it becomes kind of natural. You know, like my guru used to say, not so serious, not so struggling. Like, don't try to overthink it. These things kind of naturally form and come into place. So just by making a sankalpa, an intention to focus your eyes upward and focus on your third eye or your crown, it'll gradually just happen naturally, and it'll be like second nature. So all these yogis, like you can see Babaji, they're always focusing on their eyebrow chakra, their acna. So this happens over years of practice. They probably don't even know. They're just so used to doing it, and they get in that state so easily that it doesn't even, they don't even think about it. It just happens naturally, you know. Like the mantra japa is the same way. Like the more you say each mantra, it just naturally starts to become your soundtrack of your life in the background. It just, I feel like, let's say Om Kriya Babaji Nam Om, Om Namah Shivaya, or all of them, they just kind of naturally loop in the background of my life, right? So it naturally becomes the soundtrack of my life. Like I like when they say a japa japa, which means God starts to say your mantra. So I like that concept. Like it becomes such second nature that you surrender and God begins to say your mantra for you in the background. So like it's the same thing with like Kriya Kundalini Pranayama. You know, your tongue just naturally kind of relaxes in K-Cherry Mudra. It doesn't, you don't even have to do it after a while. It just naturally goes into place. So it's the same thing with the eyes and the breath and everything, I would definitely say.
Yeah, I like to look up also, and I heard the down hand position is like for grounding. More for grounding, yeah. That's what they tell us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when you push your hands down, you're kind of anchoring yourself. You're grounding yourself into the ground, like centering yourself before you start your practice.
And I need a lot of grounding because I'm only hanging on to the earth with one toe. And my head is on the clouds.
Yeah. So if you need extra grounding, ground yourself, anchor yourself into the ground so you don't float away into the clouds.
Yeah, so I had a few interesting things happen to me in my week, but yeah, the other day, my day off on Monday, I had to go to the VA medical center. I usually go to Fort Worth, but I had to go to Dallas because this was for a examination on my sinuses, because for most of my life I've had like kind of breathing problems. Sometimes one nostril will be clear than the other, you know, like back and forth. And then at night, or if I have any allergies, it just gets really bad and totally plugged up, and I end up breathing through my mouth and stuff. So yeah, I got diagnosed with a deviated septum, which I had already self-diagnosed myself. So, but that did confirm it. So I will need like a surgery. It's just like a day surgery, but they do, put you unconscious. So I'm kind of scared about that, but like it'll be such a relief to like actually be able to breathe like I should be able to, after all these years. But yeah, so on the way home, and I was thinking to myself, I'm very scared of surgery and all that, but I was thinking to myself, if Veronica, your daughter, can do what she did, then that's my hero, and I'm gonna like remember that when I'm shaking in my shoes, right before surgery. But yeah. But yeah, so
Yeah,
on
I
the
would
way
say.
home,
Yeah, go ahead.
on the way home, as what happened to me last time when I went to Dallas, I got a blowout. I had just gotten new tires from the last blowout, and I don't know, I heard a pop, some kind of sound, and all of a sudden, low pressure warning comes on, and I'm on the highway. I'm like, oh shit, this sucks. But I was very close to an exit, and I knew right where I was, and I knew there was like a lot of little tire shops right there. So I was able to exit the highway, and I was hoping like I could make it there before the tire got all the way down, but I couldn't. So I was driving on the rim, and when you do that, you damage the tire. I was hoping to save it. Maybe it was just like they can pull out a nail and patch it. It'd be $5 or $10, but yeah, so the tire got totally damaged. And then unfortunately they didn't have it in stock, so I had to Uber myself home and then Uber myself back the next day. So that was more money, but I did handle it like a yogi, and I was just like, it didn't upset me as much as I knew it would have in the past. I just like accepted it. It sucks on my bank account, but I know that money will return to me. I'm abundant. That just cost me a little bit of time and an adventure. I got to talk to a cool cab driver, and he turned out to like be a musician, and he gave me his little card, and he said, I'm a musician here. Check go to my website and check this music out and stuff. And then on the way back, yet this morning, it was like a Christian guy, and he was playing like Christian music. And it was nice. I told him God bless you on the way out, and he was like, hey, amen, brother. He was another black guy, but yeah. So the good that come out of the bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, like I say, every day is a test as a yogi. I'm no exception. Like in the beginning of this satsang, my alarm was going off, and stuff comes up. So you just gotta put your chest out and keep your chin up, and no matter what happens, say, all right, we'll overcome it. Peaks and valleys. Some days you have a good peak, and other days you have valleys, but you take it all with equanimity and see everything is equal. You can't have the good without the bad, or you can't have the bad without the good. So my zodiac sign is a Libra. So when the scales go up, they got to come down and balance out. When they go down, they got to come up. So to keep that kind of balance. Yeah. And also, with my daughter going to surgery, I told her, just go to your happy place. That's always what I like to do. Like anytime I have to go to the dentist or do anything, I just go to my happy place. So when I go to the dentist, I don't even take Novocaine. They were like, you want us to numb your mouth? I'm like, nope, because I just go to my happy place. And I told my daughter the same thing when she had her spinal surgery, that go to your happy place and just exist there and stay happy, right? Like there's no pain, there's no suffering in your happy place. So when you go there, just stay happy and don't let no pain or suffering or fear enter into your happy place. Just stay happy wherever your happy place is. If it's sipping on a coconut in Hawaii, or it's on the peak of Mount Everest, you are the creator of your happy place. So when you go to your happy place, nothing can bother you. So try to look at it as a good opportunity to cultivate, enhance your happy place. Anytime you go into surgery or you're going through any pain or suffering, just go to your happy place.
Sounds like good advice. I've had surgery once before where I had to be, put under, and you start counting backwards. Next thing you know, you wake up and it's done. But I do wonder where I am really gonna go when I go completely unconscious. Like would I dream? Or where's my soul, my consciousness? When they anesthetize you.
Yeah, well, if you're in control, you could control where you go. So if you make a intention or sankalpa or conscious effort, maybe you could become the director of your dreams and control the outcome.
Perhaps. Good news I did get. I've been waiting for some document I needed to complete the immigration process, and it arrived today, so I will be able to mail that off tomorrow, and it shouldn't be long after that I get a visa, and my wife can come. So I'm going to be very happy about that. It's going to be like a dream come true. And, maybe another month or two. So I can handle that. So
cool. Congratulations.
Nice.
Excited about that.
So when you're talking about going to your happy place, do you use your third eye, like visualize it, like looking up in your mind, like visualizing it? I don't know. And I was thinking maybe using your third eye to manifest things would be like visualizing it that way would be more powerful.
Yeah, there's different ways that different people do it. Like some people like to visualize their third eye as like a light bulb or like a sun, and they like to walk into it. So it kind of symbolizes them merging with their third eye, like becoming one with their third eye. And there's no separation or duality between them and their third eye. So yeah, I would try to see which way works best for you. I like the concept of walking into your third eye, and it kind of gives you the mindset that you are one with the light. You merge with the light. You become one with the light. So yeah, when you go to your happy place, if it really works for you to walk inside your third eye and be one inside your third eye, that's a good way to do it. But really, the best way to do it is what I always say, what works best for you. So I would try different techniques, and whichever one uplifts you and makes you feel the best to get to your happy place, then that would be the best techniques. Because some people, they could just go to their happy place. Some people need a more extra visualization to go to their happy place. It just depends what works for you. That is the best way. So a lot of people say a lot of things, but it really doesn't matter what works for them. It only matters what works for you. So I would try different ways to do it, and whichever way works the best, then I would lean into that way and cultivate it and enhance it, because that is the best way. When anybody asks me what's the best way to do this or that, I said, whichever way works best for you.
Yeah.
Whatever way makes you feel the best, that is the best technique. It don't matter what millions of people say on the internet about your third eye. It only matters what you feel in your third eye. So whatever works best for you, that is the best technique for sure. I would definitely say.
Yeah, I just saw a video of this guy. He was like, with this third eye, like to solve a problem, like visualizing all the problems. And then he visualized them like in a ball of light, and then just sent it out to God. And then he visualized all the solutions coming back to him to like solve this problem. I thought that was really clever. So I'm going to try it and see if it works for me. But I thought that was a good way to, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of the Holy Yagna fire, like taking all your problems and then sending them out to burn them and getting rid of them. So But
Yeah, these are good ways. Like, as you know, in our school, we have many ways to cut our emotions and burn our emotions. We're always trying to find good solutions to really detach and let go of our emotions. So, yeah, like they say, like write your problem on a piece of paper, burn it up in the candle. As you know, every full moon and new moon, we burn all of our members' problems in the holy Yagna fire. So we're always kind to let go of our problems and detach, like wave bye-bye to our problems. They go up in smoke. They no longer serve you. So yeah, these all these techniques are good, but like I just said, the best technique is the one that works for you. So if you see putting all your problems in a ball of light and sending them out to the universe and they send you back the solutions, that's a great way to solve your problems. And it really kind of detaches you from the problem, right? So, when you kind of visualize it going up in smoke or going out into the universe, it creates that separation that you are not your problems. They're just clouds passing in the sky. They're just water under the bridge. They're not meant to be held on to. They're meant to be let go of,
yeah,
when you can just let go of and see it doesn't really serve you in the present moment, then you really have a good perspective. Like, I am not my problems, my soul is not defined by my problems. It's just clouds passing in the sky, water under the bridge. So if you really have that separation of your problems, then you really have a good perspective. My guru used to say, your thoughts are like waves on the ocean, but you are the ocean. So underwater, you're unaffected by your thoughts. They're just waves on the surface. But when you become one with the ocean, you become the ocean of being, then these waves, you can't feel them. You can't even see them. So when you're underwater inside yourself as yourself, you're unaffected by the waves on the surface.
yeah. Problem I was like thinking trying to solve is like my money problems, and I thought I solved it, and then I got a letter in the mail from California state tax from 2020 saying that I owe them $2,700.
Oh my
So
God.
I need to utilize this. But also, like when I'm like silent and I'm just like not freaking out, the solutions come to me too. That's something else. I find that like when I just get quiet, like that, what I'll figure out, the answer will come to me too. But yeah, it's always. I think I had it solved, and then this came out of nowhere, like threw a wrench
Yeah,
in my plan.
that reminds me of the story. Like I said, when I went to the Himalayan mountains, I was like, whoo, that was a tall mountain to climb. I was like, we made it, Baba. And he like looked at me, and the other yogis looked at me. They were like 20 kilometers that way, like, oh, you think you solved your problems? Well, we got a lot more problems to come.
Yeah.
And it put it in perspective, like peaks and valleys. That's what he always said. Peaks and valleys, Vedagurudev. Go up one mountain, go down another mountain, Your car's running smooth. Tomorrow your
Nope.
car has a flat tire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep going, keep it perspective, And you really begin to see the only thing you could really control is how you react to these things. So if you react in like equanimity, like, all right, these things happen. Tires don't last forever, like when you go up the Himalayan mountains, you go up, you go down. There's millions of rocks, there's winds. It's all part of it. So if you more enjoy it as an adventure, like, oh, look at this. Interesting. Today I got a flat tire. Well, we're going to have a adventure. How am I going to solve this problem? How am I going to overcome this problem? Then you really have different perspective, and it doesn't affect you, but it's a war zone out there, California state tax is coming. They
Yeah.
made their money. They're going bankrupt.
If that was 5 years ago, and I gotta find the records from this. Good God.
Yeah, and they have no compassion. Like, can't you let it slide? It was 5 years ago. I don't even remember what I ate for dinner yesterday, let alone what I did 5 years ago. Like, come on now. You know?
Yeah.
If you want the money, you should have asked for it 5 years ago, not 5 years later.
Yeah.
You know? So
I have to use my yoga superpowers, like Paul says. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely put your yoga superpowers into play.
I'm like,
Yeah, taxes. That's the only sure thing in life. Death and taxes. That's what my mother used to say. There's always death and taxes.
keep me in prison with this debt society. Like, I want out.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep you in that that loop that you know, it's hard to get ahead these days, let's say it like that. Like, you know, like it's really hard. They always got some hidden cost or something to hold you down. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to figure out what, you know, what I can do, if I can get it forgiven, or set up a payment plan and they get a slow drip, or if I claim bankruptcy. I just need to figure out all my options. I want to get my.
For me personally, I start building up credit card debt. That's what the natural next thing happen. You'll have to charge it, and then you'll have to make minimum payment, and then you'll pay like a huge interest, fee.
That's true.
And then you just have to chip away at that credit card. You know what I mean? But yeah, another funny story that happened to me. I gotta really laugh at this. But I'm kind of like a supplement junkie, you know. So like while I'm watching all my like secret reports from, on Rumble and stuff, they're always touting these new supplements. And so I heard of this one called methylene blue. Has anybody heard of it?
I think Mariana.
I heard you mention it.
Yeah, Mariana, I think said something too. But anyway, I decided I'm gonna try the methylene blue, but I got it, and I read the bottle, but it really didn't tell how much or what, how to do it. And it had like a little card in there that said stop, like it wanted you to go to that, web address and find out the information about how to dose it or whatever. But, just being like a normal man, I just like, just like my other ones, just like take a dropper full and like just under my tongue, just one squeeze and that should do it. So I did that, and I was fine. But like maybe like 5 minutes later, like before I left to go to yoga, I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself. My whole mouth was like my teeth, my tongue, all my lips were completely blue. Oh my God. Because it actually is blue, and that's why they call it methylene blue. But I was thinking, oh, that's just the name of it. I mean, or it might be like a light blue, but this was like a blue dye. And so like, I was just imagining like, what if I had showed up to yoga without checking myself first? And I had to brush my teeth like 5 times just to get it somewhat good. But anyway, you're supposed to mix it with water.
You're helping people out there with this.
But it's supposed to give you energize your mitochondria or something like that. And I did feel kind of like I got like an energy boost from it. So I don't know, but definitely don't take it straight.
Yeah, I don't want blue teeth.
Hi everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Stay.
Happy to see you guys.
Happy to see you too.
Yeah. So I had also a question about the seated positions. So, is there any advantage to the lotus? You know how different asanas provide certain benefits sometimes, but like I was wondering if there's any particular advantage of the like lotus position versus, is that Padma asana? Is that the way you're
Yeah,
sitting right
Padma
now?
Asana.
Yeah.
No, this is called Sita Asana.
Oh,
This is
Sita
half
asana.
lotus.
Okay.
And Padma Asana is full lotus position.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, is there any benefits or advantages, and especially like as far as meditation? It just seems like natural for me, like to be in that position when I want to meditate. Like I would find it a little hard to just do it seated or laying down, but like if I'm in that position, it kind of like just triggers something in me to want to, meditate. Because it's just like a very natural position in a sense, but that's how I like to sit, but I did notice like when I'm in lotus position, if I force my leg up there, it feels very stable, like because it's those feet are like pushing down on my knees, and it's like I'm like rock solid to the ground.
You're
But
right, Kyle. You're definitely right about that.
Oh, you're in lotus position.
nice. So your take any advantages, or especially for meditation and everything like that?
Yeah, I would say the full lotus position, Padma Asana, it kind of locks your spine in straight. So your spine is kind of locked in. Like you said, when your legs are up on your thighs, it kind of, you can't really hunch over. It kind of locks your spine straight. So no matter what you do, whether you go to the right or the left or the front or the back, you're always kind of locked in straight. So it kind of naturally straightens your spine where you can't slouch or you can't really lean over. So that's what I would say is probably the main benefit of it. That's why these yogis like to sit in full lotus position, because they don't have to think about, I need to straighten my spine more, because it naturally just locks you in. When you're in that position, your spine is locked in straight. So I would definitely say that it really helps your alignment and your centeredness. Really, there is no like blockages. Like from the root to the crown, the Susimna Nadi is really super straight, where you can't really go any other kind of way. And like I said before, if you start making it a habit of sitting in full lotus position, then you'll always have that alignment where you don't have to think about it. It just naturally happens. So it's a good benefit when you sit that way, because your spine just naturally straightens and you don't really have to worry about it, because you're kind of locked in. When you sit in full lotus position that you'll already be locked in, and that's less things your monkey mind can focus on or attach on.
And the sitting on your meditation pillow helps you lock in better, or I don't know.
Yeah, it more, instead of leaning back, you more lean to the front, right? So you're more, it brings your knees down on the floor more, and it brings you. Let me see. So I have this meditation cushion.
For the car.
Yeah, go ahead.
I even have a cushion for the car, like an Everlast cushion when I'm driving, because I used to do Uber. And so I was very aware that having a straight spine while sitting is very important. And I used to get backaches because I was driving a lot. So I used to slouch, naturally, not because I was, it just naturally happens. So I said, I still got to make money, but I don't want to put my health at risk. So I always use a pillow, regardless if I'm in full lotus position or not. Although I also alternate. I don't put the same leg up. If I put the right leg up first and then the left, then next time I'll do reverse.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. Like you loosen up. So if you do the lotus position on both sides, and if some people find it easier to do it on the right side, and some people find it easier to do it on the left. But if you make a practice of doing it both sides, then you could do it. You kind of balance out yourself. So I like to, like Tibor said, make it a practice of doing it on both sides, so it's easy to do it both kind of ways. Because if you do it too much on one side, then you start to favor that side, and the other side it starts to become harder. So you kind of want to keep that balance.
When you mention about locking in position, you do lock in naturally. I mean, it's effortless.
Yeah.
Once they're on top, like Kyle said, it naturally pushes down on the knees towards the ground. And if you're on a pillow or on a cushion or on memory foam, even better, because you get the vibration, like the law of Isaac Newton, every action has a reaction. So when we're pushing down, whatever we're sitting on is pushing up. So because we're locked in and we can't move, whatever that means, we're locked in. Our natural movement would be our breathing and our blood flow. And because of that, even if we're locked in position, we're still moving by breathing. We're still moving by our natural heartbeat and blood flow. So alternating enhances the movement of our inner blood flow, energy, chakras, breathing. Everything is the same thing. Susemna Nadi, root chakra, top chakra. It's always on a loop. It's like the circle of life, constantly operating, even if we're not practicing our asanas. Even if we're on our day-to-day routine, it's always operating, regardless of we're conscious of it or not. The way I used to practice this before starting Kriya Yoga, and then noticing that I was practicing Kriya Yoga even before hearing about it, was what I'm about to explain. You do this by breathing and thinking consciously all the time. There's no other thing. Asanas are just like extra practice. But the main 24-hour practice is thinking consciously, breathing consciously, acting consciously with awareness and loving awareness, or union with the divine. But that's a 24/7 practice by our thoughts and our breathing, which also affect our blood flow, because there have been studies about water and rice, and you talk good to one, you talk bad to the other, and you just ignore the other one. And the one you talk good to, it starts emitting like a perfume-like smell, but the other two start to like rot and deteriorate like normal. And so the same analogy or experiment, if you will, applies to our blood and our thoughts. Whatever we carry in our aura day to day is how our blood or our water is contaminated with our own thoughts or our own energy, our own aura. That's our energy that we carry 24/7, our thoughts. And that affects our breathing, and that affects our blood flow. That is all.
Yeah.
No, thank you for that, T-Boy. That was profound. Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like when you integrate these practices of Kriya Yoga in your daily life, your life becomes Kriya Yoga. So like Tibor said, when you breathe consciously, when you think consciously, and you live consciously, then your whole life becomes like a walking kind of temple. I posted a Babaji quote yesterday. It was like, keep your mind clean and your temple fit. It was something like that. So like your body becomes like a walking temple, and you always want to keep it clean, and you always want to do everything consciously, and you want to be aware of the distractions out there but not attached to them. So if you could make your whole life like a living meditation, then it becomes, everything you do becomes mindful, and you just guide through life with this mindfulness, which is a very beautiful and profound thing. So you're less affected by anything, you're less attached to anything, and you just kind of float through life like, oh, that was interesting. Look what happened today, you know, but I'm not really attached to it. I'm not going to get upset about it. It just, these things kind of happen in a daily basis. So keep moving on.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that we're being the light we're supposed to be around darkness. And it also reminds me of the story about the little soul and the sun, which I've already known, but it was read to me a few days ago again.
Nice.
Practice Being's back. He says, God is our only security. Faith is knowing that we'll always get what we need when we need it. We're living and breathing right now, being the best we can in this moment, which is all there is.
Well put, Practice Being. Yeah, I would agree with you. If you put your ultimate goal, your main focus on God, and seeing God in everything you do and everywhere, like God is in everything and everywhere, then, like I said in the last Satsang, you can't hurt anything because you see it as a projection or a mirror of yourself. You see yourself in a tree. So why would you cut down the tree? Because you'd be hurting yourself by hurting that tree. Yeah. So you see God in everywhere and everything. And by this way, you could become more conscious. And you don't have no thoughts of violence or want to hurt anything because you see yourself in that everything. And you see everything as a divine spark of God, right? Like a representation of God, like a spark of God. So I would definitely agree with you. If you align yourself with the divine oneness and your inner divinity, then that's all you need, you know? And there's no reason to get depressed or feel bad, because you start to become like a radio antenna for God, right? And God starts to give his energy, his Shakti through you. And you start to become more of the detached witness and not attached to any outcome. And you just kind of watch the play of the play of Maya on the stage of the world, if you know what I'm saying. And you just get your popcorn and you just sit back and watch it. Like, I'm not attached to this movie. I don't think I'm an actor in this movie. I just watch the movie from a distance, from my seat in the audience, you know. So and you start to, like Practice Being says, you start to focus more on what serves you in the present moment, and stuff that other people do, you begin to see is it doesn't really serve you. That's good for them, but how does that serve me in the present moment? So you begin to cultivate and enhance what really uplifts you and serves you in the present moment.
Yeah, I was thinking about what Tibor said about slouching when we're driving, because I've been paying attention to that for myself personally. And like I catch myself, like I want to keep my head against the headrest, and that's how I know if I'm not. And also my mirror position, if I'm at the right tall position, I mirror. But if I'm starting to slouch, I have to want to adjust my mirror. But yeah, so I'm trying to maintain that, and I'm just realizing how difficult it is just to maintain your focus on some simple things like maintaining a straight posture and the breathing. Like I constantly just let my automatic breathing take over, shallow, automatic breathing, and like instead of just like a nice steady and deep breaths to calm me. And thinking about my posture and stuff, I'm just like realizing how like schools sitting in these like chairs for long periods of times. And like I would always slouch because I was also tall, and didn't want to be seen, you know, so I'm kind of like slouching down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
We've
how
all
my,
done that, regardless of our stature.
yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting what and when I'm focusing on my breath, my monkey mind can't wander around as it likes to, you know.
Yeah.
And that's an
Yeah.
effort. That's actually
Go ahead.
an effort, because that's what we deal with, every single one of us human beings, with our minds and our thoughts. And that's the effort right there. Controlling, or domesticating the monkey mind like a pet.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Taming the
Domesticate.
wild monkey, right?
Because if we
Yeah.
could do that with regular monkeys, heck, they would ask for tips if you tell them and teach them to. So why not our monkey mind too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. Like before I got on the path to Kriya yoga, I used to DJ, right? And all I would do was hunch over and touch the turntables or the CD player. So when I got into Kriya yoga, that was hard for me because my back was permanently curved from all those years of DJing. But it's possible. You just kind of got to make a conscious effort to, like I said, imagine a string on top of your head, pull that string up, bring your shoulders back, chest suspended. You just kind of, that's why I like the lotus position, because it helps me from not getting back into those bad habits or slunching over, right? Because it's hard to hunch over when you're in the lotus position. So it kind of keeps you more locked in and more focused. And like my meditation cushion, it brings your more knees down instead of more knees up, So I'll take it out. Like you see, like without I would sit like more like that, like, I mean, it's still, but it brings your more, it brings the focus more down on your knees. So you could sit. That's why I like it. And it looks good for the kids at home.
Yeah. Makes you look cool.
It makes me look cool. It's a cool presentation, right?
Well, I know I hunch like when I'm driving in heavy traffic, because I'm just like, incoming traffic's coming this way and I'm watching all the crazy cars. So I feel like I'm more in control if I'm hunching. But
yeah, your head is on a swivel.
Yeah.
Because it's a war zone out there, especially traffic, right? Which way they're coming, where they at,
Yeah, it's like a defense mechanism. But if I'm on a country road, I can sit straight and just be like smooth driving.
Nothing to worry about.
What Kyle said about adjusting the mirror, but we do that regularly when we're sitting up straight. But then he said he adjusted it because he's slouching. Then don't adjust when you're slouching, because that way you need to go back to the straight position to look back.
Right.
Yeah.
I was kind of meaning that alerts me when I think I need to adjust the mirror. That alerts me to that I'm doing the habits slouching.
But even if we think we're not doing it right because we're still slouching and we still need to consciously move, that we can consider that oscillations. So that's progress. Oscillations are vibrations anyway, and that's the whole point of the universe. Vibrations, energy, and frequency, which is the velocity of the vibrations or the repetitions that we do something. That means straighten our spine. Every time we do it, it's an oscillation, it's a vibration, it's a repetition. So it's progress anyway.
Right.
Yeah, well put, T-boy.
Well, this might trigger some people, but I believe in God, just not religion. But I was thinking, what if religion didn't exist? What do you think, the world would be better or worse off?
I think we're creative enough, we'd still make something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, our monkey mind has to try to make a logical sense out of what can't be explained. I always like in yoga when they say a God defined as a God can find. So I always don't try to make sense of God because, like I say, I said before, like in a satsang, it's above my pay grade. It's beyond my comprehension. I I have no clue what the source or God is doing right now, and it's probably beyond my comprehension anyway. But I would say, in my perception, that on a higher astral plane, there are no religions, let's say. It's more of a universal, harmonious kind of energy. I would say, like, how would my guru say this? He used to say, it doesn't matter what name you call God. It only matters how the energy uplifts you and makes you feel. So, like, my football team is better than your football team, and your football team is not the real football team, and all this. It gets into that dogma kind of judgment. But if you kind of love everybody for their inner energy and their divine glow and their soul energy, then you can never go wrong. When we were in the Himalayan mountains, my guru always said, like, if you're carrying divine energy, you are our brother. I don't care what spiritual tradition you come from. So when we were walking up the Himalayan mountains, we walked with everybody. We walked with lamas, we walked with sadhus, we walked with the gauris, we walked with yogis, we walked with swamis, we walked with Buddhists, we walked with everybody, right?
Yetis.
You have good energy, you're our brother. So let's walk.
And you walked with Yetis as well, correct? If they had good energy.
Yeah, if a Himalayan abominable snowman had divine energy, he was our brother too. Didn't matter how tall he was or how hairy he was or big. You have good energy. You are our brother. Come into our tent for some tea. My cave is your cave. So that's how we and other spiritual traditions looked at it that way too. So, like, they were like, yeah, I like your energy. I don't know where you're going, but let's just walk.
Yeah.
And if you go to Lake Shrine SRF in Pacific Palisades, California, they have shrines for every spiritual tradition. They respect them all, you know? It doesn't matter what name you give to God, long as it all goes to the same place anyway. So, tomato, tomato. But when you separate that, divide and conquer, my God is better than your God, and we're the chosen people, and you're not the chosen people. And
heretics.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah. Heretics.
Yeah, heretics. So, you know, that then you start getting into that judgment, lower state. I'm better than you, and you're lesser than me. And so we don't really need that. We only need uplifting energy, you know, not judging energy.
Yeah.
So whatever spiritual tradition you believe in, it's perfectly fine. To do whichever one works the best for you. That's what I would say. I personally follow the supreme science of Kriya Yoga and Babaji, but if that doesn't resonate with you, it's perfectly fine. Just do what uplifts you and makes you feel the best. So I would say that's not a one size fits all. It's your perception of God is the best perception of God. And whatever name you give God, I would say that's the best. And so I would say don't let other people's God become your God. You figure out what God makes you feel the best and uplifts you the best. And that is the best perception of God, you know, like, so, you know, don't let other people's stories of God become your stories of God. If you resonate with those stories, then that's perfectly great. Then that's the best story. But if it doesn't resonate with you, then find the story of God or the perception or the energy of God that really works for you. That would be the best God there is, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mind always thinks comically. So while you were talking, I was thinking it's all double S or SS. And by that, I mean it's all the same shit.
Yeah,
All the same shit.
true. all the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you know, I wear white clothes and you wear orange clothes. I mean, what's the
Yeah,
difference?
exactly.
We're all, it's a different color, same clothes.
Yeah.
You know, so long as you uplift, as long as you carry the white flag, not the dark flag, let's say, right? Long as you're helping people, loving people, being compassionate to people, helping people, then it doesn't matter which football team you play for, you know. Just you're on a good football team anyway, right? And long as we're uplifting people and helping people, then that's all that really matters, you know.
Yeah, I like what you said. You'd walk with people from all different faiths. Sounds like if I like your energy, we might be totally different, but I don't know. It's okay if we're different, but I like your energy, so we're still this. We're kind of the same, but I like, yeah. I don't know. Be open to everybody. So love
And
everybody.
when you open your mind, you really see they're like you too. They're
Yeah.
just on a different path, but all paths lead to the same mountaintop. So you know, yeah. So you begin to recognize them as your brother, and they begin to recognize you as their brother, and your food became their food, and it was just a big love fest.
Yeah.
Sharing. Hey, you eat this, you eat this. All right, you were sharing. What techniques do you know in Buddhism? We do like this. Okay, cool. We do like this, and our Kriya Yoga Sadhana is basically a collection of my guru's techniques that he learned from all over India. And my guru basically, he wrote a book called Kailash in Search of Self, where he walked around India for, I think it was more than 2 years, and he met all spiritual beings. And they had good techniques, and we would, you know, around the Yagna campfire, we would just share techniques like, all right, show us how you breathe. Okay, this is how we breathe. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna add that into my sadhana. Or, oh, I like what you did. That was great. You know, so it was more of you're on the same frequency as me, so we're able to communicate, you know, better, right? In yoga, they say we only talk to people that can hear what we're saying. So when you're on the same frequency as them, when you're in the same divine path as them, or the same search for inner divinity as them, then you'd be surprised they open up like a book, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a
So
question.
Okay.
yeah, go ahead, Paul.
So you're talking about brothers. So I'm thinking that, you know, not in the not too distant future, we're going to meet our star brothers. And I want to ask you if you think humankind is like ready for that type of interaction, or do you think there'll be like a meltdown, like suicides and kind of like what happened during the War of the Worlds broadcast back in the 30s, where they freaked a bunch of people out. They had a radio broadcast and saying like aliens were invading, and people didn't know it was like just a show. I don't know if you heard about that, but so do you think like, what do you think will happen when, you know, that time comes?
Well, I can't really say for other people, but I could say me. I have the perception when I do my sadhana, I open my door, because my guru used to say, if God comes to your door, don't leave him outside in the cold and rain, let him in. So it's the same thing for me. Like, long as you're carrying good energy and you made me no harm, I don't care if you're blue, purple, green, whatever. Come on in. Let's have some tea. You know, like I'm open to it. Now, other people, that's a different story. I really can't say. Like my guru used to say, your whole life you've been conditioned through distractions. So a lot of people are attached to the narrative. A lot of people still to this day believe mainstream media is their friend and they wouldn't lie to them. So it's easy for them to get in a state of fear because they've lived their whole life in a state of fear, you know? Like as yogis, we try to stay fearless as possible. We don't, whatever happens, in yoga they say whatever happens, don't let anything shake your samadhi or your meditation, right? So even if aliens come down, War of the Worlds, and they're a big spaceship, you still stay in the same samadhi state regardless, you know? Like, you know? So like, if our soul brothers come, I welcome our soul brothers. I have my tea ready and my temple clean, and I'm ready for them anytime they're willing to come. I look forward to it. And by going through what I went through in the Himalayan mountains, having this perspective, I'm not scared of tigers or Himalayan Yeti or any of that stuff. I'm ready for it all. Come on in, you know? And that's why I think I had more of these experiences, because I'm not really attached to it, or I don't really try to make sense of it. Like I said before, when I saw a fairy in the Himalayan mountains, I looked at it. I enjoyed it for a few moments. I went back in my tent and went to sleep, you know? I didn't really attach to it. So maybe I'm more open to it because I don't really have any judgment about it or anything, you know? When I saw a monkey, sitting on my Shiva statue, I didn't freak out. I didn't try to go get a knife or go get a baseball bat and hit it or whatever. I enjoyed it for what it was. I said, "Ooh, cool, monkey."
Yeah.
You know, today's my lucky day, you know? And he's carrying a God message. He pointed at the sky and said, "Let go and let God," and then left. And I was like, enough said. No need, nothing else to add. I didn't try to ask, wait a minute, monkey, I have some questions about the universe, you know? I said, good enough. I'm happy. I'm satisfied with the answer I got telepathically. So, yeah, same thing with these aliens. I have my tea ready. I'm ready for them. Whatever color they are, whatever form they have, long as they're not harmful or trying to hurt me, or if they're trying to uplift me, I'm open to the message anytime they're ready. So that's what I would say. But I don't know. It's, as far as other people, they try to keep you in a constant state of fear, which you're easily controlled when you're in a fear state. But if you're not scared of anything, you can't be controlled. Like, so if they want to control the narrative, they would probably try to put a fear projection about it. These people are bad. They're trying to hurt you. But if they don't try to hurt you, then they're good. Why not? You know, I'm open to it, you know.
Also, I think we're being prepared for aliens with all the movies about aliens. I think we're being prepared for it. And like when I was a little girl, I remember the movie E.T. and I wanted to have a little alien in my closet, like E.T. phone home. But
yeah, I loved E.T.
Yeah,
I had a E.T. stuffed animal, E.T. phone home. What did he like? Reese's Pieces, right?
Yes.
That's what he ate. Yeah. He was in the little girl's closet, and, you know, E.T. phone home. And when these government people killed E.T., that was the saddest day of my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if they killed him, but like he died, you know, like, I don't know, whatever, right? Like, leave E.T. alone.
Yeah,
Get
don't
away
research
from
him.
Yeah, don't dissect E.T. You know,
Yeah.
leave him alone. Let him get on his bicycle and float into the sky, right? That was the movie poster, right? He would that kid and E.T. was on the bike and they were floating past the moon, or so yeah. So I like it. I mean, I wouldn't keep an alien as a pet. They would be more my
No.
brother.
Yeah, I don't want to hold them in a cage.
Like like your cat or your dog, this higher frequency being is hiding in your closet. Stay here, But yeah, so I don't know, like Veronica said, they have, what they call it, what did Chad used to say, projected programming, right? Like they're trying to prime your lower frequency mind for higher things, higher concepts. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm open to it no matter what happens. Like if a spaceship landed in my yard, I'd be like, cool. Hello, friends. Come on in. You like tea? Yeah. Tell me about your journey, telepathically, or can you speak? Can you communicate with words? What do you need? You've had a long trip. Here's my bed. Take a rest. How do you recharge yourself? So I would be open to the questions. Same way I'm open to other spiritual traditions. Tell me about your spiritual tradition. What techniques do you do? What do you like to do? What uplifts you? What makes you happy? This type of stuff. So yeah, I'm open to ET. So I leave my door open to my room. So anytime ET, aliens, whatever, want to come in, it's wide open. Don't even have to knock.
When you said,
usually they portray the ETs as evil, though, so they want to use that, like I heard, as like a scare tactic, like the fake alien invasion tactic, like a false flag that they use to create fear and panic in the population. But yeah, I've heard that a lot of those films have like purpose behind it, and also some basis in truth of things that happened. Like Ben Rich, the like former CEO of Lockheed Martin, like made a statement that we now have the technology to take ET home, and that was like, oh my God, that's mind blowing. But all the hidden technology and everything like that. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you could basically see during the C word time that their goal is to keep you in a constant state of fear vibration, a lower vibration, because you're easily controlled. That's why they had the numbers on the TV every night, so you could stay in that fear kind of mud lower state, right? If you don't care, how can they control you? They really can't, right? So they have to project their narrative becomes your narrative, right? So, but if a tree falls in the woods and you don't hear it, did it really fall? So they want to make sure you hear the tree, because if you don't hear the tree, then you don't care. So their job is to more make you easily swayed, let's say it like that, like do what they want, right? But you're the king of your castle and you're in control. So no matter what they want you to do, you control what you do. So I wouldn't, when they say go right, I go left. Let's say it like that. Like I don't take the truth from habitual liars, if you know what I'm saying. So I use my own discernment and my own judgment to figure out what's true and what's not. So if they tell me these aliens are bad, I want to find out for myself. And what's the worst thing that could happen? They could destroy my physical body and give me the lightning path to ascend. So,
like, thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm taking the golden flight. Vedagurudev, why are you here so soon? Well,
I got
alien shot me with his laser.
Oh no.
Yeah, here I am. Coming home.
You said Vedagurudev, God is everywhere and in everything, and I added in everyone.
Right.
And I was also thinking how number 3 is included as a representation of divine Trinity, maybe Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but also in everything, everywhere, and everyone. There's also a 3 there,
True.
representing every single thing, biological and non-biological, air and rocks and water, and spirit also included, you know, because father and son in a way are physical things. There's a father biologically, there's a son biologically, but the Holy Spirit is an abstract thing that science has failed to measure. And so that's faith. Holy Spirit also, things that can't be explained. Father and son, we could explain it by our own logic, because we can't still explain how we are made human beings, other than, you know, we have sex and we're born. But how did we became a human being first? We're parasites, microscopic.
Yeah.
But in a way, also, maybe the hardest teaching in Jesus' New Testament may be because God is in everything, everywhere, and everyone. Love and pray for your enemies. Love and pray for those who hurt you, because we're all from the same source as Vedagurudev, and it's all double S, as I stated earlier. It doesn't matter if it's Krishna or if it's Vishnu or is it Buddha or Jesus and God overall. Allah, Jehovah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If you see God and everywhere and everything, then that means
my bad. Also in aliens, extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
God is in aliens. That God is the aliens because he's everywhere, everything, and everyone, even if, you know, we're not familiar with it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna just say. Like, if you see God and everywhere and everything, then these aliens are a representation of the divine spark also.
True.
If they have a different form or not, it doesn't matter. As long as they are peaceful and higher consciousness, then they are our brother, and they are.
Thus, free will is a universal law for every single being, humans and aliens, because some aliens are good, some aliens are bad. Most humans are bad, most humans are good. Heck, do I even know what I'm saying? I don't know, Freud. Tell me.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, right? Like, I would say if you meet an alien, or there is what they call it, disclosure, it comes out that there are aliens. So long as they're representations of God, I mean, if you could travel through the universe, you probably reach a state of higher consciousness where you're beyond, hopefully, the lower frequency harming, fighting people, and, you know, hopefully you just want to live in peace and harmony, and that would be great. So I would definitely say, but if you,
that's
I
why
would definitely.
Yeah, my bad. I'm constantly interrupting your flow of words.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, T.
Because in Kriya Yoga, Babaji's like the ultimate goal. Like, he achieved union with the divine, did not see death. And Veronica said a few Satsangs ago that how that reminded her of the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, where she achieved so much knowledge, wisdom, I don't know, however you want to call it, that she disintegrated and became everything. Just like Babaji is also everywhere and everything and in everyone. And she communicated with Morgan Freeman saying, like, bitch, I'm everywhere. I'm even in you.
Yeah, so like Scarlett Johansson reached that higher state. If you reach that higher state and you see yourself everywhere and everything, you see yourself as a tree, you see yourself as the alien, you see yourself as a mirror reflection in everything and everywhere, then how could you harm anything?
The word fractals, which is very used in spiritualism and mediumship, and ways to explain spiritual things, and visions of the future, or manifestations, or however you want to call it, receptors. They use the word fractals as like multidimensional possibilities, and so fractals also implies mirror-like experiences. Everything, everyone, you're me, I'm you. And whatever you're saying, I'm actually saying to myself. And hence, whatever we do to harm anybody else, we're harming ourselves.
True. Yeah, I would agree with you. If you see yourself in everything and everywhere, why would you hurt anything? Because you'd be hurting yourself.
Yes.
So why would I hurt this tree? I'm hurting myself.
Love thy brother like you love yourself, and love God above all. There's three, there are two: God, you, and the other, or God, the other, and you. It's not really. It's kind of sort of ambiguous, but self-feeding and loop feeding.
Well, like this conversation, I'm about to say something, and one of you guys say what I was just thinking, and I always think,
there we go.
Are my thoughts and feelings mine, or am I sensing others consciously or subconsciously? I think we all are connected somehow.
It's basically God talking to himself, experiencing himself through every one of us, with every single word, every single feeling, every single experience, emotions, revelation. I got that finally. What he said is actually pretty interesting. That dude knows something, bro.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, when I finish these sad songs, I'm always like, where did that come from? I don't say these profound things. Where did this insight come from? But like I say, I try to align myself with God, and I just deliver God's message, and it just comes out the way it comes out. So
excellent vessel, Vedagurudev. I'm glad to have you around.
Oh, I appreciate you too. I give all the glory to God or Babaji. I take no credit for any of this, I don't take no credit. I'm just delivering the mail.
So humble.
God, Babaji is driving the car. I'm just watching him drive me around. I don't take no credit for any of these things that come out my mouth.
But it's actually the most important things, because in the New Testament, Jesus also stated, do not worry about what you consume, what you put in your mouth. Worry about what you say, what comes out of it.
True.
I was thinking, like what Paul was saying, that we would freak out if aliens presented themselves. I think it would be a shock, but I think humans are resilient, and we'd wrap our heads around it.
We're
start
right to it with Guardians of the Galaxy, and making it cool like that.
Yeah, well, I loved Star Trek growing up, and I thought it'd be so cool to like be on the spaceship with Captain Kirk, and like visit new worlds and meet alien races.
You gotta teach me to do those things. I mean, is it transferable? Can I also learn what you do? I don't know, man. Considering you're from another planet and we're not related biologically, I'm just saying.
Yeah. The more, we think we're different, but we're all the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a big Trekkie also, and Star Wars and everything. And I read like sci-fi, so much sci-fi and fantasy stuff.
I've recently watched Dune 2. I liked it more than the first because it was more like history drama, but the second was more action-packed, and I enjoy it more.
Definitely.
But
what were you going to say, Vedagurudev?
When I wake up, I would just I look at every day like an adventure. Like, oh, what's Babaji got for me today? I'm excited to jump out of bed. So it'd be a super adventure if there was a spaceship landed in my yard. I'll be like, whoa, let me go out and see what they're talking about today. How does this thing work? Let me just sit in the back of the spaceship and be a fly on the wall what do you guys eat? Like, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
It'd be like Christmas, better than Christmas, right? Like,
Why is there
how you
nothing
get-
on the wall? It's just like all silver and it's like an egg. How are you even standing? You don't even have a monitor. What are you looking at? How do you drive
Yeah.
this thing? And it's
right,
like
so
Yeah.
many questions,
Yes.
right?
It's thought
You drive
based.
this with your consciousness? Show me. I want to drive a car with a consciousness, Like, can I drive the spaceship?
And they're like,
It wa-
dude, check this dude out. He thinks he's enlightened.
Like, what God do you pray to? Please enlighten me. Let me know. I want to know, like, what is your perception of God? How do you perceive divinity? Like, so many questions. I mean, yeah, it's like Christmas, right?
Practice being, he has a good comment. I agree with Practice Being. Practice Being says Vedagurudev is a great listener, always letting others speak first. Yes, thank you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying my best, like, the reason I created this satsang, because I wanted to listen to what our members had to say more than I mean, I talk enough, like, on the Saturday class, and, so I enjoyed the conversation, and I have an open mind, and I like to listen to people, and I like to contemplate on their comments and on their what they say. So I always try to keep an open mind. So before, when I started this Kriya Yoga School, I had a partner named Chad, and he posts a lot of these thought-provoking videos, about aliens, about consciousness, about all kinds of stuff, conspiracy, they would say, but I think maybe true, So I always try to keep an open mind, like, interesting. There's a sun over here, and there's a sun over here. 2 suns. Woo. Who knew? 2 suns are better than one.
Yeah, who knew?
So I try to keep an open mind. Same like in the Himalayan mountains. I'm open to everything. Like, I like the energy from the agoris. Most people stay away from the agoris. They think they stink. They're homeless. They don't shower. Whatever they say about them. I like their energy. Their outer body might look like they haven't bathed in a long time, but their inner energy is immaculate. So I enjoy that. So I try to keep that perspective open in any time. So I'm open to listen to anybody's perspective, and I'm not going down with the ship. If you know what I'm saying, like, what do they say? I heard somebody say, blue no matter who. Like, no matter what happens, I'm always a Democrat, right? I don't want to be that way. I'm open to all spiritual traditions, and I'm open to all forms of divinity. I want to see, come land in my yard. I'll make a nice landing pad for your spaceship, and let's talk. I don't want to be in a fear state, that fear state, right? Because I think that scares them off. So I'm open to all spiritual traditions.
Yeah,
and
maybe it'll make
I'm
you better.
listening to anything, Yeah.
That
Maybe
was,
I could put my knowledge on top of your knowledge, and I can have more knowledge, right? So I'm trying to stack as much knowledge as possible. Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
thinking
We got
about the Agorian monk path. Isn't it of more service to be doing something like you're doing? Isn't that kind of selfish to just just exist and not like kind of interact with society? And it seems like it's more of a service to be a mentor to other people and things like that. So I was just thinking if that was like a kind of a selfish thing, I mean, I can imagine how freeing it is. Like, it would just be so freeing just not to care about a thing. So it would have that liberation feel. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I would say, well, in my perception of the Agoris, they're trying to do their inner work before they can help anybody else. And sometimes their inner work is a lifetime of work. So they would try to say that the renunciate's path of Agori is basically trying to do their inner work. And I would say in my case, I really didn't want to come back to the world. Let's say it like that. Like I wanted to do like I really respected the Agori path, and that when that time came for me, I wanted to be a Agori too. Like I enjoyed their energy, and I wanted to be a part of their energy. So when you see them sleeping in a cemetery, or you see them smearing holy ash all over their body, I really resonated with that, and I wanted that one day for myself. But it was more presented to me like you said, like you have the energy of helping more people, and you're more of use to higher consciousness in the world, but not of the world, right? So how could I say, it's to these people that live in the Himalayan mountains, it's more of a horror show to go to like New Delhi or somewhere, right? Like they don't want no part of it. But me, I've come from the heights of the ego from my DJ career, that I understand what people are going through, because I went through the same thing they went through. So I would say, without an ego, I think it is better, like you said, to help people, you know. Like my guru told me, when I told him I didn't want to go back to the world, I just wanted to sleep in the cave in the Himalayan mountains and renounce the world. He told me that you're not really helping people in the cave. You're not helping people meditating by yourself in the forest. What you're really, if you go to the front lines and hold up the white flag, that's when you're helping people. You're a living example. Most of these yogis, they don't know nothing but the yogic path. They were born into the yogic path. But you come from the ego path, and you've seen the light on the other side. So you have the perspective, because you know what people in the Maya delusional world have went through. So you've experienced. So you have more compassion and more understanding, because you've lived there. You've been there. You know, that's why I always say to our students in our Kriya Yoga School, there's no bad questions, because I had way worse questions than this. And anytime I hear Veronica ask a question, or Paul or Tibor, I say, I had those exact questions. They were like worse. But, so I understand from the different perspective. And I would definitely say that I didn't understand it at the time, but now I understand it, that the more higher karma yoga, the more higher work is done, or the boots on the ground, let's say it like that, on the front line, than in the cave, right? I mean, hypothetically, in the cave, they're helping people collectively, but it's more of a long distance upliftment. This is more of a real time example, you know. That's why I always say, if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I'm the worst yogi to ever live. Anything you could do wrong, I did wrong before I got on the yogic path. I treated my body like an amusement park. I did everything I could wrong, you know. So I guess I'm meant to be like a living example. Like if I could do it, anybody could do it.
Those are the best teachers. Practice Being has a comment on what we've been talking about. He says, ultimately, our only obligation is to divinity. Paths are different. Some are destined to be more involved in the world than others, but the ultimate destination is the same. I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with you. So in Kriya Yoga, the ultimate goal is the divine oneness, like your inner divinity. You begin to become like a radio antenna picking up the clear divine signal, and or you begin to become a mirror of the divinity, or you see God inside yourself as yourself. You know, you don't see the duality, you see the oneness, right? So the basic way I look at it is I'm a radio antenna trying to pick up God's signal as clear as possible. So all the sadhana and all the yogic practices I do are basically trying to clear out the static or the distraction, so I can have a aligned pillar of light inside me as me, like a clear phone line to God, as best as I would say.
Well, we were talking about the gories, and I was just thinking about when I was a kid, I did not want to take a bath or a shower. I just wanted to be outside making mud pies, playing in the dirt, and climbing trees. I liked, I don't know, and my parents would beg me to take a shower, but now I love taking showers and being clean. So I was thinking like Patanjali's thing about being clean, inside and outside is as good as right, and so is the agoris. Both thinkings are right. So
yeah, so the a lot of yogis, like me included, that's why we wear white. It's like a sign of purity and cleanliness. So they're always cleansing their self, trying to keep their temple clean. You know, like they always say, if Babaji comes to my temple, which is my body today, I'll make sure it's all clean and nice, you know. The agoris go through the other route. They say, I want to renounce the world so much that no one will even come around me because I haven't cleansed myself in a long time. So both paths are right. It's just different paths to God, but
yeah,
it depends which one works the best for you, you know. Like
They also have different frequencies, like the lifestyle in themselves. A lifestyle is a frequency, even if we're not yet aware of it. Like the way we think, that's our natural frequency. Our habits are made of our repetitive thoughts, which creates our habits, which are our habits are essentially things we do daily, weekly, monthly, and that starts because we have repetitive thoughts. We think the same things over and over again. That's how we create our personality. Oh, I know Veronica's like this because she likes this and she does that. And I know Kyle's like this because he's like this, that, and that. And that's how we know. That's how it's done. Also, I wanted to add, I'm actually lagging a little bit, so I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna take a rest for now.
Okay,
well,
no problem. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for coming. It was really great conversation.
It's always a pleasure. I always love it. Love you guys too.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Bye.
But yeah,
He kept calling Paul Kyle.
But,
That's okay.
I was going to correct him, but he left.
That's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you are Kyle, and I am Kyle. We're all Kyle.
Yeah, I was picturing in my mind Vedagurudev with like a long white beard and long hair. So my question is, what type of agori would you be? Would you like let your hair grow? Is that like mandatory?
I mean, there's no really rule set. I would just do whatever I felt. I mean, that's the freeing path of agori. They don't really do anything they don't want to do. They just kind of go with the flow. So, I mean,
you're bald-headed too.
Yeah, it depends. You know, like, yeah, and maybe I'd be the first bald-headed agori. I'm sure there'd probably be some bald-headed agoris out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you just do whatever you feel. Like, I know that, like, my guru and these other agoris, they feel their hair carries energy, so they like, it's almost like receptors to them. So they like to grow it out as long as possible. And it's almost like a symbolism of renunciation. Like, I don't have no job to go to. I don't have nothing to do. So I just let my hair grow out as much as possible. I'm not attached to it, or I just let it happen the way it happens. So, I mean, I don't know. We would see whatever I felt at the time would be the best for my spiritual evolution. That's what I would do. So if you saw me with a long white beard and white hair, then that's what it would be.
Yeah.
It'd
Where
be a
would-
good picture. Me with long white Santa Claus beard next to my guru with a long white
Yeah.
Santa Claus beard, and all these other yogis with long white beards were a whole Indian city full of Santa Clauses.
So, like, I'm wondering, like, are these Agori homeless, or do they do they just like go from ashram to ashram and then come out in the day? Do they sleep outdoors? And would you do that?
Yeah, they don't go to ashrams, or they don't go anywhere. They sleep in the cemetery. They sleep wherever hypothetically they would be homeless, but in their mind they would say they're spiritually millionaires, so in the physical world they're homeless, but in the spiritual world they're millionaires. That's kind of how they would put it. So yeah, they would sleep wherever. They don't, like homeless people, you would say, like Indian homeless people, and people, they basically eat how people donate food, or give them money, so they would hypothetically be homeless. But when I lived in the Himalayan caves, I was homeless too. So it depends your perspective. I didn't look at it like homeless. I looked at it like sleeping in the mansion of God every day, so I mean, that's probably how they look at it, to be honest. But
question about sleeping in the caves. So the government regulates like who goes up there, and would they stop somebody if they just wanted to go live in that cave?
I wouldn't tell them you're going to live in there, because they, like you said, they
Yeah,
probably
but
stop.
they probably have people that patrol it and they see who's there, and or do they?
No, not really. I mean, it's so high up that they don't come. So that's kind of why they stop you before you go. Like, what is your intention? Oh, I'm just going for a couple days. Okay. And then they sign, if you tell them you're going to live there forever, they're not going to probably let you, because they don't want to go up there. Even the paper says in Sanskrit, it says like, we're not responsible if you die, So if you have a problem up there, you're on your own. Like, we're not coming there to get you. So there aren't no patrols. They're not coming, right? They're not coming. So they want to stop you before you get to that point. Let's say it like that. So that's why they have these visa rules, because I'm sure I'm not the first one who wanted to never come home. Let's say it like that. And once you get on that higher vibration, you realize you are home, and you don't want to go back to the ugly Maya delusional world. So that's what I would say. So if you could get past that point, they're not coming to the Himalayan mountains. So they weren't patrolling. They weren't checking. I was all on my own. I mean, I wasn't on my own. There was other people there, but they don't come.
I'm just wondering, like, how easy would it be to go live in a cave, literally, Like around the United States, I'm sure most of them are all national parks. They wouldn't let you like do anything there unless you found like a remote cave somewhere. So like, yeah, there's not that many caves available.
Yeah. Well, I would say the first thing no one can let you do anything. You just do whatever you want. So if you find a cave and you want to live in there, then who do you need to ask permission to? Between you and God, let's say it like that. So find a cool cave and try to go stay in there. Hopefully there's no bear in there, but maybe the bear is nice, or maybe he's not nice. Who knows, So But yeah, so I would say, how hard would it be? I don't know. Take a flight to India, go to the Himalayan mountains, and just find a cave and stay in there. It wouldn't be too hard. But they want you to have this perspective, like you need to ask for permission. Just do whatever you want, and they're not going to come anyway. So just find you a nice cave and try it out. So.
Well, and then there's the provisioning part of it. Like if you're in a cave and it's remote and you have no access, like there's not like a lot of people there to hand you food, you know, so that's going to be a problem right there. You're going to have to pack in a lot of food to last you, you know.
That is going to be a problem. And there's not food readily available in the Himalayan mountains. It's kind of a frozen tundra, so stuff really doesn't grow too good. But yeah, so these are things you would have to consider. But I don't know. I think if you surrender to it, it would find a way to work out. Like in my perception, God or Babaji would be so pleased that you did take that renunciate path. He would find a way where you wouldn't die, you know? Somebody would magically come with a bag of rice or something and check on you. There's a lot of people who see it as a true blessing to help out people on the spiritual path. So when you go to India and you're on the spiritual path, it's hard for people not to help you. They go out of their way to help you. So when we're walking, it's almost like walking from one house to have tea to another house to have tea. We're almost too much tea because people, oh, you're on the spiritual path. Come, my friend, come in my house, eat our food, you know, like, so they're readily available. But if you're in the Himalayan mountains away from people, those people aren't readily available. But like, I don't know, you would find some people, like people, when they find other people, they go out of their way to help. Let's say it like that. Like, oh, you don't have food? Here, take my food. Or they see it as how they call it, prasadam, right? Or prasad, which is basically giving your food to other people, helping uplifting other people. So people go out of their way to help people in need. So if they saw you and you were malnourished and didn't have food, they would go out of their way to find you some food. Let's say it like that. So it sounds like not possible, but I don't know. It happens. It comes together. So I would say in the Himalayan mountains, a lot of people bought, like, they bring like a 20-pound bag of rice. I don't even know how they carry that up there, but like they have a 20-pound bag of rice that would get you through the whole winter season. So people donate blankets and they have all kinds of stuff. So you should be okay. I mean, it sounds scary. Like I had these same questions, like, what am I going to eat? How are we going to eat when we're up there? There's no restaurant. There's no food, you know, like, but God has a way of kind of taking care of that. You know, I don't know how these yogis live up there, but they're still there. They're still, you know, so it takes care of itself, you know. And in India, when they find people on the spiritual path, they're kind of going out of their way to help you. So
they could also be breatharians.
yeah, that too. So they've reached a higher state in their pranayama practice where they take nourishment from the nature, from the atmosphere, you know. So that's why the sun, they're cultivating it in their solar panels in their hands, and they're taking nourishment. So they don't really eat a lot, or they don't even really think about eating. So like they take most of their nourishment from the prana in the atmosphere, I would definitely say.
Well, Practice Being has been very patient. So let me read his comment. The human spine is the tree of life. The hair is the roots, and the nerves are the branches. Plus, hair is like a hat or cap to help keep the spiritual energy within the body. Wearing metal also.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. These yogis practice that and they believe that for sure. So, yeah, they would definitely say that the spine, the Sushumna Nadi is the middle track, the most important thing. Like, you know, all your chakras are aligned on the Sushumna Nadi. Your nadis are like roots, or you know, like nervous system out, and yeah, branches out, and yeah, your hair is like metal conductors, or like wires that pick up the signal, and the Shakti and the prana and the atmosphere, and cultivate the spiritual energy in the body. So, and they also believe that, like he said, wearing metal also, copper is a conductor, and like everything they use copper. So a water bottle's copper, every cup is copper, everything is copper. So it's a cheaper way. They would say copper or gold, which gold is too expensive, so copper has to do.
Yeah, I've got this copper ring that I usually, well, I always wear it, but I'm not wearing it right now. But I got, it's my favorite ring, and it was like $8. You know, I just saw it and I loved it because it had like a cross on top, and then it said around it, "In God We Trust," and then on the sides it had the Maltese cross painted red in the middle, and the top part was like underneath the cross. It had like this mood ring stuff. So that part used to, I'm not sure if it still does. I've had it for so long. I think the mood ring stuff wore out, but it used to change colors, you know, with your body temperature. And it was totally like plated, you know. I thought it was like stainless steel or something. I didn't know. But eventually that wore off, and underneath it was copper. And it looks really cool because all that part wore off, and it just looks awesome. But I'm just wondering, that probably has some benefit wearing that copper ring.
Yeah, like I said, all these yogis, they all have copper stuff. So all of our stuff, my water bottle, everything was copper. So copper and nothing less. So
What about
yeah, go ahead.
like beads, and like stones, like I've got a mala that's made out of stones, you know, like I'm just wondering like what effect those, I'm sure, I know stones have, you know, some type of energy also.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say in your mala, like whatever resonates with you and uplifts you, then that is the best mala to have, I would say. Some people prefer like stone malas. Some people prefer like I have Raksha beads, you know, the traditional mala. I mean, just whatever is smooth to the touch. As some people like these Raksha beads have like texture, so they like it, kind of gives them traction when they're doing their mantra japa. Some people like it more smooth, like a rock. It just depends what works best for you and what you think carries the best energy for you. That is the best mala, I would say. I mean, there are a lot of people that would say this is better than that, but like I was telling Veronica earlier, it just depends what works best for you and what uplifts you the best. That would be the best mala. So,
Veronica, what do you have? Do you have like crystals and stuff at your house, or any rocks, or what do you have for your spiritual arsenal?
I have this obsidian stone. It's like this blue stone. I just got it just to, because blue is supposed to help with communication. So sometimes I'll wear it like if I need to go somewhere where I need to be talking. So I think if I believe it works, it works. But somebody told me that obsidian is good for communication. So I'll wear that every once in a while.
Mhm.
But I don't really have a lot of crystals, but that's one that I have. It's a necklace. Yeah, and I still don't have a mala bead necklace. But I like stones and crystals. I just don't have a lot of them. I don't know. I thought if I did have, it would be cool to have a bunch of crystals around your house. I've heard that that's supposed to help with the energy. But and I wonder if like it helps ground you to have all that stuff around you too, because it's part of the earth.
Yeah.
So, and it's alive, so why wouldn't it work? So, if the energy feels good, I think it's working.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of crystals, don't you, Paul? I think you've shown us around your
Yeah.
bathtub.
Yeah. I've got various ones around the house.
Yeah.
Then they're stones. I'm trying to think if I have like one or two actual crystal, like an amethyst or something like that. But most of them are stones, like you said, like in that obsidian or various colors, like a quartz one. I think that's a crystal quartz. Um, and then I have some selenite, that's supposed to
Mm.
be good for cleaning them or something or recharging them. But yeah,
Oh, it's interesting.
it
And I
is.
think I think they're pretty. They're nice to have around. So helps with the energy. So I don't know. A question I have for you, Vedagurudev. I don't know. Do you ever feel like psychic attacks, like somebody's like having bad thoughts about you? I know you have your Kavachum shield, but can you? I don't know. Like I'll feel like buzzing around my head, and I always wonder if somebody's having negative thoughts about me, about the field.
Yeah, I do, but I kind of look at it as an opportunity to dance. Like, oh, you
Nice.
think I'm affected by that? Let's dance. Like I've been waiting for you. I'm ready for it. So it comes in different levels. Let's say I go to the store 7-Eleven in Thailand, people will see me and they'll tighten up their mask. People in
Yeah.
Thailand still wear masks to this day. Don't ask me, but those little things but I don't try to get attached to any of those negative vibrations, I don't try to make sense of it. I just like water off a duck's back, like dirt off your shoulder, well, whatever. I don't. I try to keep this perspective. I don't work for you, or you don't give me money, or you don't help my family. So what you really think doesn't really matter. So when you have that perspective, it's hard for people to get under your skin and dance around, which they really want. If you don't care, then how can they affect you? So people will give you dirty looks, or
Yeah.
I know more about God than you do, or so whatever. I don't try to get attached to it. I just laugh at it like the joke it is. Like, oh, look at this monkey show out here. Let me get my popcorn and sit back and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Look at these monkeys driving their motorcycle, their bike around the circus, whatever. Oh, pretty interesting today. But unaffected, like the detached witness, like stepping back from the TV. Like, I don't think I'm an actor in the movie. I'm just the detached witness, just watching these pictures go around. But yeah, it's a war zone out there. It's a minefield. They're coming for sure. They look for the opportunity to test your higher consciousness. Let's say it. They're definitely gonna try. So, but if you're unaffected by it and you keep that perspective, I could say in Thailand they hate that about me. I say that all the time. I don't work for you, so you don't control anything over here. You don't put food on my family's table. You don't pay any bills. So why would I care what you think? But most people are consumed with that. Like, I buy this car so my neighbor thinks I'm cool, or well, whatever, right? So, but I'm unattached by that. So it's almost like liberating kind of thing, like freeing, like I don't care about anything, like as much as possible. But the Maya delusional world pulls me back in sometimes. I can't go to the electric company and say, I'm on the spiritual path, so give me free electricity.
Yeah, give me a break.
They don't understand. I learned that the hard way during the C thing. Like, listen, I don't have a job. I can't work because
there's no
the
jobs.
C thing. You're forced me not to work. And can I get a break? Nope. You don't pay. You don't have lights. So you begin to see that no one's coming to save you. So you got to save yourself and pivot and figure it out yourself. But yeah, in my perception, I would definitely say that I'm no exception to the rule. When I go outside in the Maya chaotic world, they're coming for me also, for sure. Maybe they're coming for me more because I hold up the white flag as high as I can, like get that guy,
Yeah.
he needs to be got the most, right? He's too flagrant with his inner divinity, I mean, when I go out in the world, I dress normal and everything. You wouldn't be able to tell, but still, like, I don't know. So some people don't like my freeing energy. It's how would my mother say this? Misery enjoys company. So why am I so miserable and why is this guy so happy? I don't like it. I'm gonna look at him and try to drag him into the mud with us, but keep trying. I welcome the dance,
Yeah, it's interesting. People, I know when somebody doesn't like me and I didn't do anything to them, but maybe like with you, Vedagurudev, you just trigger them. Like, this person doesn't like me. I didn't do anything to them. There's just something that they don't like about me or with you.
I don't try to make sense of I feel it. I definitely feel it. Like, so I don't try to make sense of it. I kind of look at, how would I say this? Myself, like Moses parting the Red Sea, if you know what I'm saying, like out of my way,
step aside.
Inner divinity walking, like something like that. So they hate that the most, right? So I'm just like, do. I don't care about you. 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 Part the Red Sea, Moses walking, So they definitely hate that, like they want their perceptions to become your perception. And I feel it all the time. Like, why am I so miserable and this guy's so happy? Like, I don't like it. I want him to be miserable too. They give you dirty looks but anything, I don't pay it attention, like it's just meteors hitting my Cavachum shield atmosphere. You hear it, you feel the ping, right? Ping, 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 coming through, part the Red Sea coming through,
I got places to be. I don't have time for you.
I got time for I got time for this. None of this, so like but they're out there. But if you kind of keep that perspective, like, why would I care what you think? You don't pay my bills, then they really can't hurt you. But in Thailand, they have this perception. They love saving face. That's what I would call it. They call it like broken face. They hate not getting their way and their face gets kind of broken. They will call it, right? To me, that's silly. Lower emotional frequency, if but
it sounds
I don't
like
care.
pride.
So, it's like pride like that too. But they hate, like, they would say I break their face every time, but I'm not trying to break their face. I'm just trying to live as happy
you're living your own life
as possible. I mean that as an American, that's silly to me. Like, that's third world mentality, let's say it like that. So I don't care what any of you think. You don't pay my bills. It's between me and God, right? So I'm sure they don't like my statues in my yard. They don't like the color of my car. I don't know. They don't like the clothes I wear. I'm sure there's a laundry list, a Santa Claus list of stuff they don't like about me, but I don't care at all. I don't work for them. I'm the king of my castle. I control what I think and what I put my energy on. And if you want to waste your energy on negative thoughts about me, go ahead. It doesn't affect me at all. So.
Yeah, and their opinions are none of your business, and you don't care about their opinions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Somebody told me that one. What other people think of you is none of your business. So I always try to keep that affirmation in my mind, like I don't care about none of this.
Yeah. I think I'm
none
great.
of this serves me in the present moment, right?
It's too bad you don't know how great I am, but keep on keeping on.
Well, I'm gonna just radiate that greatness.
Yeah.
If you want to accept it or not, up to you. But like I said, misery enjoys company, or my mother would say, people who live in glass houses should throw stones, if you know what I'm saying. So fix yourself before you try to judge me. Let's say it like that. So, but it's easy. My guru used to say it's easier to point at other people. That's lazy. Just point that finger right at yourself. Go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and I need to be better. Why am I so offended by this guy who's has a smile on his face? He's living happy. I need to fix myself. I don't need to worry about other people. I have no control over what other people do. So it's a waste. It's a drain of my energy. It's a waste of my energy trying to control other people. So I should just be the best person I could be in the present moment. And if you accept it or not, it really doesn't matter, because it's between me and God. So I'm sure my neighbors don't appreciate the fire. They don't like my statues. They probably don't like my American flag. I don't know. I don't know what they like. They probably don't like anything about me, but it doesn't matter. I'm not living for them. I'm living for myself. So I do what makes me happy. What they think about my car, or my statues, or my spiritual practice, none of my business.
Yeah. You're not trying to win their vote.
What your neighborhood looks like, and are there any other foreigners there? Because I know how it was with me in the Philippines, but I was in a little townhouse area, and it was just basically houses, just one, next, sharing a wall. So it was just all around. There was no foliage, no yards. Some people had plants in their balconies or whatever, but it was like a cul-de-sac, and it had, you could just walk around it. So it was kind of nice in that way, because, not a lot of through traffic, but, and everybody was very friendly. Didn't have any broken face towards me.
Broken face.
Yeah. So I live in a gated community. It has I don't know what you call it, a garage door opener that opens a gate, like an electric gate.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guard gate, but there's no guard in there. So it's like a private community. I don't know. It has video cameras that I could look at all around it's one street, and it's probably 8 houses on the right, 8 houses on the left. So 16 houses. I live all the way in the back by the wall. So I have the biggest house with the biggest land. I live in a 2-story house. Let me see. How many bedrooms? 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2-story. So, and then I have a extension, which is the room I'm in now, which is half my DJ room, half my meditation room. So so this part is my meditation room. Behind the camera is all my DJ awards and my plaques and stuff like that. So
is there a yard in front?
In front of my house, there's no yard. It's the street. But to the side of my house where my yagna is my yard.
Okay.
So
and Is there like a lot of like foliage? Is it like kind of a jungle around there or not?
In my house, I like to keep it a jungle. Well, it becomes a jungle from my mantra japa and my sadhana. So these trees get super big, but yeah, there's not. I mean, the jungle is mostly like what people choose to put in their yard. Let's say it like that. So I have like a mango tree, a pomegranate tree. So I like my greenage in my trees. So,
Yeah, so
but
I'm just trying to like see it's like a heavily populated area, and there's like no wild big expanse of land with like no houses on it, like close to you.
uh, maybe outside my village there is, but not inside the village.
Okay.
It's more. How can I say? It's more like my house has the most land because it's at the end of the village. So it's like they have like it's one street, so you could turn, like where you kind of back out and go out. So you can't really make like a U-turn because the street's so narrow.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the end of the street, and there's like a thing you put your car in, and you back out, then come back out. So that's why my house is right there. And I put like a basketball rim, which I never use there. I made like a basketball court there, but yeah. So yeah, so that's basically the setup of my house. So
Did you play basketball as a kid?
yeah, I mean, I grew up in the inner city of Pittsburgh, around the inner city youth. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The black people, and yeah, we played street ball, football. My uncle's in the Hall of Fame for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so
Okay.
we try to play football. So but it just wasn't for me. My family wanted me to be a football player like my uncle, so but it wasn't in the cards. So yeah, so I played basketball, football, baseball, like all the American sports when you grow up. So
I was never a big sports person, but we were talking about electricity, and I was thinking about all the technology that's been withheld from us, and just how like having the free electricity and say anti-gravity would affect our society, to where all the money, just imagine all the money they waste on roads because they don't allow us to have flying cars and air travel. You could just like travel wherever you wanted. I mean, we should be living in that Jetsons age. And I heard like for over 100 years ago, we should have done away with the internal combustion engine, like when Tesla came out with that. And then JP Morgan squashed it because he couldn't figure out how to monitor, get us to pay for it, the electricity. So wow, it would just be amazing. Like I can just imagine this like paradise with just like big like city areas, like surrounded by a lot of just forested land, no roads needed to bust through there, just fly right over it or land at a lake or something. Man, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I wonder if the world was free. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Veronica.
Oh, I was just thinking, if everything's supposed to be free and we didn't have to worry about going to jobs, I think maybe the world would be more spiritual, because we don't, what else are we going to do but work on ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't have the distractions of the Maya material world, or how am I going to pay my bills and this type of stuff, this really drains your energy. I mean, it's a super drain on your energy. So I would definitely say like what Paul said, if we had free energy, that would be a beautiful place. That would be it'd be a game changer. Yeah, like you said, like a mind freeing, a weight lifted off your back. Let's say it like that. Like if you didn't have to worry about electric or water or energy or gas in your car, like you would have the opportunity to free your soul as much as you can. So I wish that for everybody, you know? So, and that's basically these yogis who go in the Himalayan mountains, they cut out the distractions. So they don't have those distractions. So they're free to do their inner work as much as possible. So that's why they're at a higher state of consciousness, because they have no distractions, and they made it the number one priority to focus on their inner work. So they're doing their inner work and uplifting themselves as much as they can. So yeah, it's a beautiful thought. I wish that was true, and I wish the world wasn't so greedy and monetized, and you know, like it'd be more soul freeing for people to have less of these material distractions and more do their inner work.
They're also withholding the medical technology from us, you know, because that would bankrupt the pharmaceutical companies, you know. I've heard those things called med beds, and they work with light frequency, light and sound, and you just lay in there and it can cure various things. But yeah, I mean, all the stuff that is probably being withheld from us and just used by the powerful elite, you know, controllers. And the few people.
I mean, the money is not in the cure, it's in the medicine, if you know what I'm saying. And you could see that like during the C word time, they had one solution. Put these chemicals in your body and you'll be better. Well, what about exercise? What about vitamin D? What about sunshine? Oh, that's all junk.
Yeah.
Listen to us.
Put a mask on.
Put some chemicals in your body, you'll be fine, right? So you mean exercise doesn't work, but this chemical works? Yes. Regurgitate it. Tell everybody you know. So like, what? That makes no sense. That doesn't resonate with me. I'm gonna use my own discernment, and I'm the king of my castle. So I'm gonna put what I feel like I should put in my body. I don't care what you say. So they don't like those. They'll give you they'll put bad words on you, anti-vaxxer or whatever. but who cares what words they put on you? Like I said before, if you have that mindset, I don't work for you.
Yeah.
Actually,
what you want.
The U.S. government works for us. We don't work for them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be working for us.
You work for me. I'm your boss. I pay your bills. You're using my taxpayer money. Shut up. Right? Like, no, you work for me. You do what I say, you know? I'm not doing that. You don't control me. So they like to keep you in a lower state of frequency so they could suggest or program you to do what you're told. So I'm more of a free bird. I don't want to do anything. Yeah. So they say go right, I go left, right? Right. You're not my boss. I don't work for you. You work for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm your boss. Go get me a coffee, you know? I don't listen to anything you say.
Extra cream, please. Paul, I have a message for you.
Okay.
Blonde Donnie, he says, make sure you message me, Paul. We can have some interesting talks on that.
Okay.
Yep.
So Donnie's on our Kriya Yoga School Masterclass. I think his name is Donald on our school. So if you go on our school chat, you can find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about, like, in some sense, I have to have some trust in the medical system, but like I no longer like blindly trust it because, I've got this issue with my eyes, and, that's really my only option. If I don't think I'd like to think I can just heal myself, but, I'm afraid to just, no, I'm not going to take that medicine. But so, I'm taking these shots, but, they do know something. They might actually know. They say they don't know what causes this. It could be genetic, blah, blah, blah. But maybe they really know, and they, develop the cure for whatever they caused, but could be that, or they might actually know something, but yeah, it's like scary. Like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but my goal is just to wean myself off of that medicine. And that's what I told him. I say, I want to like start to lengthen the time between shots and see if, my eyes act up. So, basically just monitor it. So, yeah, that. And then when I was at the dentist the other time, they told me to put fluoride that I should, because I was getting some cavities done. They say you need more fluoride and I'm like, well, what does fluoride actually do for your teeth? And they're like, it hardens it. So I let them, I'm still not using the fluoridated toothpaste, but I let them smear it on me. I should have probably on my teeth right after I had those fillings. I went right to the water thing and tried to like flush my
Spit it out.
I was hoping maybe it just mainly got on my teeth and not down my throat.
Yeah.
But yeah. I did tell the first nurse that like gave me a cleaning like a few months before that. I told her I'm a anti-fluorider, and she understood it, so she didn't really say anything about that. So,
Yeah, you kind of need to use your own discernment and see what really works for you,
yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, believe me, I would have loved to tell the surgeon in my daughter's case, we're not going to get spinal surgery, but some things you have to accept and just do, like, and some things maybe you could do without. I don't know. Just use your own discernment and see what works for you. Some things you come to a place like, if I don't let the doctor do this, then it's not going to end well. So I need to pivot and just keep moving the right direction. Like, I don't like it. I don't prefer it, but the alternative is not, I like even less. Let's say it like that. So just sometimes you just gotta suck it up and let it happen, So
yeah, like
I was hoping they would shine some grace on my daughter the natural way, but that wasn't the case for me. So I pivot and change directions and accept, because the alternative is harder to accept than the surgery option. Let's say it like that.
Yeah. I was going to say about my nose, I could go. They said that this was optional, so I have to make that decision. But knowing how important the breath work is, I think it's like, that this is something I just have to do. So, that's why I decided to do it. And it's not super major, just a little snip and burn. And I'll wake up and it'll be done. I'll just have to go through a few weeks with a sore nose. But
yeah,
I think it's going to be worth it. But yeah.
Mr. Blonde, aka Donnie, he has an interesting comment. He says that EFT uses the meridians in the body to get rid of physical, emotional trauma, etc. Snake diet is a specific fasting technique that resets the body's healing. Do you guys know anything about that?
I know fasting is always good for healing, but I never heard of the snake diet.
Yeah, fasting definitely, I would recommend fasting to heal your body as the number one priority, the lightning track, I would say, for sure. Like anytime you feel like you're coming down with a cold or anything, start fasting right away. Like that's exactly what I do. And I could say during the whole C word thing, I never got sick. I never got anything. Still to this day, I've never had like a sniffle or a cough or anything. But I make it a priority. Yogis every Thursday on Guru Day, they fast. So I keep that as part of my thing. But I would definitely say fasting, EFT, use the meridians. Yeah. The Chinese, they use like these pressure points. I think they call them meridians. I'm not too knowledgeable about that, but they use it to exhaust karma. But in my opinion, I mean, I don't know too much about it. I would say the techniques we have in our Kriya Yoga School are better to exhaust your trauma and your karma and your emotional baggage that you're holding on to, for sure. Snake diet, I mean, if it works for you, why not? I'm not a big fan of I guess that means eating snake. I wouldn't
I don't know. Maybe
eat
it's
a
something
snake,
else.
but I mean, if it works, well, why not? I mean, give it a try. It's not necessary in my case, but yeah, I would try it. But I would definitely say fasting, in my opinion. I mean, everybody's body's different, so I can't say for sure, but I would say fasting works the best for me. So anytime you feel yourself coming down with a cold or just feel under the weather, just fast as long as you can. You could do like intermediate fasting, like 18 hours, or you could go like Paul did 3 days without eating food. And you'd be surprised. It sounds like your mind tricks you. It sounds like, oh, I'll never be able to do that. But once you do it, you really see you don't need too much food, you know? Your mind has just been conditioned to birth to think you need breakfast, you need lunch, you need dinner, right? So once you get that blockage out of your mind or that conditioning that you've been sold through birth, then you really see. Like I said, the yogis, every day they eat what they hold in their hand. This is their food. This is their daily food diet, you know? So, and they're perfectly fine and they're great at health. And I've never seen a yogi sick or hurt or anything. So maybe they're onto something. I mean, give it a try. Everybody's body's different.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first day I think is the hardest. It gets easier, and you'll
Right.
notice you start to get more energy because that's why they have that ketogenic diet. Your body switches over from carbs to burning fat, and that's more efficient.
Right.
So you get more energy. So yeah, it's awesome. And also animals do that. So you have to, we can learn from the animals. I know like when dogs or cats get sick, they don't want to eat also. At least I've thought that. But
And I would say if you're going to fast, just keep your mind busy because like an idle mind, it's harder to fast. So if you like, all right, well, I'm going to go cut the grass and if you make a list of your stuff to do, you'll be surprised. You won't even notice it. It'll just go by quickly and you won't even think of food because your mind is focused on other activities, not eating.
So the snake diet is actually a very specific set of minerals that you drink per day with your water so you can go on longer fast without the body going through, say, a keto flu. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I would say if it works for you, why not? Try it, This do the snake diet. I mean, it depends. Whatever works for you the best, that's what I would say is the best way to do it. So yeah, get your minerals, get your vitamins, and try the snake diet. Maybe it works.
Mariana's here. She says, hello, wonderful people, and my teacher, my savior, Vedagurudev.
Oh, I don't know if
point.
I'm your savior, Mariana. I'm just trying to feel my way around the dark, just like you. So don't put me on that pedestal. I'm just delivering Babaji's mail.
She says, right after your mantra for my dad on Saturday, my mom texted me just yesterday saying she was in shock, but my dad finally booked a doctor's appointment to do a checkup.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah.
We're making progress. So, our last class, we made it a point to pray and say a healing mantra for all of our students. And I'm glad it's working out. And I'm glad your father is getting help. Hopefully that cough, that asthma, whatever lung problems your father has is burned away in the yagna also. And all our collective prayers are uplifting all of our Kriya Yoga School Masterclass members.
Yeah, and she also adds to that, just like out of the blue, my mom said, but she's happy he stopped being so stubborn and took his first step towards his treatment of his terrible asthma. I will keep listening to your mantra on repeat and try to sing it myself to keep praying for his healing. Just wanted to say a huge thank you and much love.
Much love to you, Mariana. That's great news. I love to hear that our collective prayers are helping all of our Kriya Yoga students and their families get uplifted and get in better health. So, like we say in all of our yagnas, we keep burning it away till it's all gone all together. But that's a good step. I'm glad out of the blue, our collective prayers have stopped your father from being stubborn and started getting treatment and started taking a step in the right direction. That's a beautiful thing. That's why we're here, helping people as much as we can, helping all of our students, helping all of their friends, all their family, everybody. Rising tides lift all boats. So we're trying to help everybody.
And then Mariana had a question for me. I hope Veronica's sister is feeling better as well. Yes. After her appendix burst, the next day, she was released from the hospital and stayed with her friend for a couple days. And she drove her travel trailer up to Oregon and starting her new life. So she said she's doing great. So thank you for asking.
Outstanding.
So, yeah.
Rising tides, lifting all boats, helping everybody.
Oh, and Donnie says, oh yeah, yesterday in my dream, I started crying and woke up and it was like uncomfortable emotions, especially with the yagna requesting for blockage clearing. It was crazy.
Yeah, in my case, when I first unblocked my chakras indirectly, it was like, man, I never cried so much in my life. It looked like I jumped in the ocean. My whole shirt was soaked. It was just that release of emotions, clearing all those blockages out. So, yeah, it could be emotional, but it's a good confirmation. It's a good signpost. It's a good breadcrumb that you're going the right direction. You're exhausting all those emotions out. You're not holding on to them no more. So anytime, I used to look at it like a bad thing, like, oh, I'm a man. What do I cry like a little baby for? What's wrong with me? But now I welcome it. Like anytime I start to cry, like there'll be times when I say like mantras, japa, or anything like, I don't know, like even a satsang. There've been times when you might see a tear go down to my eye.
Yeah, me too.
This is really profound. Wow, or I hear one of our students say a mantra, or I say a mantra, and I'll be like, whoa, that really touched me. So like, just let it all out, exhaust all that karma out. I like to look at it as like our chakra, like a flower blossoming and like black smoke coming out that flower, like exhausting all those trauma and emotions you're holding on to, just letting it all go, letting it all out, cleaning out your temple, keeping it clean, you know? I don't need these boxes. They no longer serve me. All this dust. Open up the windows and clear out your temple and let it be clean. Get all that trauma, those emotions, all those things that you're holding on to that no longer serve you in the present moment. Let them all go.
Oh, Paul's walking around.
Oh yeah, speaking of the Maya delusional world, some funny things that I've seen. Right, well, one funny thing, but so it popped up on my radar a couple times. Somebody at yoga had mentioned it to me, but there was like a picture of Macron and some other dignitary or head of some other state, but he's the prime minister of France, or whatever they call that person. And like a camera came in unexpectedly, and there was like a small bag of cocaine on the table, and then there was also like a small gold spoon. And so you see the camera come in, and then all of a sudden Macron like puts his hand over it and kind of like puts it like that. He like, you know, curls his hands up to where it's like hidden. And then the other guy that had the spoon near him did the same thing with the spoon. And you could tell those guys were wired, because I've seen people on cocaine, but they were, you know, they were lit up. But then when they realized they were busted, you could see their faces kind of like freak out, you know. So that was one interesting thing. And just, you know, the level of corruption at the highest levels, you know, like, don't they have to take drug tests too, even if they're like the president or the prime minister, you know? But and then Trump did do a thing against the pharmaceutical companies that we will not pay any more than whatever they give to because they give these drugs to other countries at a far cheaper rate. So he said, we're going to have most favored nation status on drugs, like whatever is the cheapest price, we give it to any other nation. That's going to be our price also. So, you know, I mean, it's drugs, but, you know, some people do need drugs, you know. I mean, you can't just like break free of it instantly, but yeah, so that's a good thing against the pharmacists. So it just tells me things are happening behind the scenes. They probably don't even like show it much on regular news, you know. You have to like dig to find out what's going on. But yeah, so I saw that stuff, so it was interesting.
Yeah, I would say the thing you look up, the people you look up to, they should look up to you, because you're doing more inner work than them. They're really lower frequency beings who dwell in war and murder and corruption, and you know, like I feel compassionate for the people of France, if this is true, right? These people that are supposed to protect and serve you and help you and make a better way of life for you and your family and put food on your table are lower frequency beings who need drug enhancements to uplift them, you know? So I don't know. Hopefully it's not true and it's AI, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is true, you know? Like, it's 2025. What are you, like 1981 in Miami on South Beach, you know? Like, what? A golden spoon, and, you know, like, what? You know? Closed door, you know? So like, well, I don't know, you know, you begin to see the people you look to help you and make a better way from your life. They're just helping themselves. So
yeah,
I don't know, you know.
I like to think about and talk about Bigfoot. You know, I was watching you know, another like Bigfoot thing on YouTube the other day about all the different types of Bigfoots. You know, you got the Yeti, but remember in Florida we had the skunk ape. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
They called it the
yeah.
skunk ape. we had
Where
our
was
own
he, like
version.
the Everglades, right? The skunk
Yeah.
ape. Skunk ape.
I'm just remembering, like, I just remember that back in the 80s. Oh yeah, that Bigfoot like exploded on the scene, and there were all these movies and stuff like that about Bigfoot, and like also like why do we
Yeah.
like scary stuff? You know, like what is it in us that like we like to watch scary movies? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's a
know.
good question.
Is it the
I know
adrenaline?
the more I raise my frequency, the more I can't do it. Like I've talked about it a bunch of times. Like, I don't know, like, let me see what this Squid Games is about, what they're talking about. And I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
do it. You know, it's like sticking my finger in the light socket, like, can't do it. Like, I don't know. The more I raise my frequency, the more death, murder, you know, I just can't do it. Like, it's almost like super trash to me. So yeah, that's a good question. Like I can't resonate with, I mean, when I was younger, it was okay. Like, what do you call it? Friday the 13th, Halloween, and like Freddy Krueger, and you know, this type of stuff. But now, like, man, I just can't do it. I can't do it at all. You know, like it's almost like shocking to my soul. Like I'm trying to uplift my soul. I can't like shock my soul. Like, oh man, that was terrible. Like, why'd I do that to myself? You know.
I think people like the adrenaline rush. Like people like haunted houses. They want to be
Yeah.
scared. They like,
Yeah. As a yogi, I'm trying to stay in a fearless state, not a fearful state. So I'm going the opposite direction. I don't want to be afraid of anything or no fear. I'm trying to dissolve it, like my ego, as much as possible. But yeah, what can you do?
So when we were talking about the corruption, Mariana commented on that. Remember how the Roman Empire collapsed? That's all I can say on that. LOL. Laughing out loud.
True. You know, they get attached in their own delusion, like this will never end. And in Buddhism, they have what's called a Dharma wheel, and they say always. How would they say this? The Dharma wheel turns. So the people you see on the way up is the people you see on the way down. So always be nice to everybody and always have compassion for everybody, because that wheel is turning. So the people who are on top today might be on the bottom tomorrow. So I'll always be nice to anybody, because you see them on the way up and you see them on the way down. So nothing lasts forever.
So Mariana says that Bigfoot is the mitochondrial DNA. Mother is human. Nuclear DNA is father unknown. Maybe that's the ET component or supernatural that makes them highly intelligent and interdimensional beings. Maybe. That's an interesting thought.
I mean, I would say in my perception, let me say, how would I put this? I would say it's highly possible that Bigfoot is from another dimension, in my perception. He can come in, he can come out. I mean, I can't say this for sure. It's highly possible. I'm open to everything. I try to keep an open mind. And if I was in the Himalayan mountains and I saw him come through a portal up here, then go back in a portal, it wouldn't surprise me at all. You know, let's say it like that. What Bigfoot's DNA is, I have no clue. You know, I've never tested Bigfoot, or I've never had a audience with Bigfoot, or the Himalayan Yeti, or whatever abominable snowman, whatever name you want to call him. But like I said, I'm open to it. If Bigfoot wanted to come in my tent in the Himalayan mountains, or he wanted to visit me in Thailand, my door is always open. I'll sit down and have some tea. And if I ever have the opportunity to ask him what his DNA is, I will ask him. But it wouldn't surprise me if an interdimensional portal opened, Bigfoot walked through and walked back into that portal. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, stranger things have been known to happen, so I keep my mind to all possibilities. So if one day a portal opened and Bigfoot came through, I'd be like, it is true. And then he went back in. I say, there he goes,
Now
So
I know.
now I know, but I don't know who I'm gonna share this information with. Maybe Paul will ask me and I'll bring it up. But I guess that's how it works.
I brought up a lot of
Bigfoot
stuff.
gave me an audience.
The Shambhala story and
Yeah.
about the fairies. I had to get that out of you, just because somebody came up to me telling me about fairies, and somehow Shambhala was in my mind, and I associated it with that area. But yeah, another good one that I just saw recently. This was on Dr. Stephen Greer's Disclosure Project. Was this skeleton of a creature? It was only like 6 inches tall, and they got it. It was called the Atacama being or something like that. But they looked at it, and you could just see the rib cage, and it was so tiny, yet you could just perfectly see like a human shape to the body. But the head, was elongated. It had a weird cranial formation, one of those big headed, just like your regular alien look, the Greys or whatever. But and then they did a DNA on it, and it came back that it was partially human. Like the mother was definitely from this type of thing. So, but it could have been some type of hybrid type being. And they were also like wondering how big it was when it was born. If it was, and they also dated it to be like between 6 and 8 years old. So that little 6 inch tall being lived for at least that amount of time. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. We usually talk about giants, so this one is on the opposite end of the spectrum. Tiny creatures.
I had a question for you,
giants,
Paul.
Dwarfs. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Mariana, Paul, Marianne wants to know, how's your microdosing going, Paul?
I aborted that project due to lack of funds and fear of psychedelics. But it had been spoken that if you microdose like some mushroom psilocybin, that it can lessen, like make you not want alcohol as much. Or it has various medicine, if you don't like take enough to like get you actually high. I've heard of some benefits to it, but I was thinking about trying that, but I didn't go through with it. Too scared.
Yeah.
Because of an experience I had as a youth, but it was a different psychedelic substance, but it still scared me. It's just like I don't want to get put under because I'm out of control. So if I do something like that, I've lost control of some aspect of myself. So don't like it.
Yeah. I had a question of like your statues in your backyard. Why did you pick Lakshmi? Because like Parvati, she is Shiva's wife and the mother of Ganesh, or you could have done Saraswati, who's part of your lineage. What made you decide Lakshmi?
Lakshmi, I just resonated with her the most. I can't really say, like, it gives me the most uplifting divine mother kind of energy, like in my perception. Everybody else is different. Like, I wouldn't say everybody should praise Lakshmi, but I really enjoy Lakshmi's energy for whatever reason, which is interesting also. And these statues that I got kind of disappeared, let's say it like that. So if I wanted to buy a Saraswati statue, there wasn't a Saraswati.
Oh, so it was just like meant to be.
it was kind of meant to be, and it was almost like, instead of overthinking this, Vedagurudev, I'm gonna just put it on a plate for you. You know, like Lakshmi, Shiva, Ganesh. You can't make no other choices. You know,
Yeah,
these
that
are
works.
the only options. So that works, and these are the ones I resonate with the most. So it was kind of meant, like you said, meant to be too. So I would say, as Lakshmi as Divine Mother, I resonate with her the most, but I resonate with them all the most. So I resonate with Saraswati, but in this case, it was kind of, so I didn't make different choices. It was presented to me. These are the three. These are the Trinity right here. So you can't make no wrong decisions, you know, because maybe in my logical mind I would overthink it. Like, well, my lineage, you know, we're all Ved Saraswati, so I need Saraswati, and I know, where do I find Saraswati? You know, it was just like, the statues are over there, go buy them, you know. Don't overthink it. So that's kind of how it usually works for me. So that's why I resonate with Lakshmi. And you can never go wrong with Lakshmi.
Yeah, abundance. Yeah.
Wealth, prosperity. You know, I like Lakshmi. So it worked out for the best. And you can never go wrong with Shiva, pure consciousness, the highest of them all, you know. Ganesh, remover of all obstacles, Lord of success. So, you know, it was meant to be, and the financial means were there, and it just all kind of came into place, right? So when you listen to your intuition or your discernment, it kind of works out for the best. So my little voice inside me said, those statues are waiting for you to buy over there. Go get them, you know. So yes, Babaji, right?
Yes.
Yes, boss. So that's kind of how it worked out. Like, all this stuff kind of works out this way. I always ask, like, what am I going to do with that? Where am I going to put it? Don't worry. When the time is right, you'll figure it out. And it kind of all, the pieces of the puzzle always kind of fit together. So that's what I would say. So yeah, but I do resonate with Lakshmi. I do. The most, I would say.
With Lakshmi, have you had like interactions with her energy, like you requested something and it came through because you did her yantra or her meditation?
Yeah, I would say, but more I pray to my statues or my deities, thanking them for the job they do more than asking for something. I mean, if I need something, it's out there in the universe, and if they want to fulfill it, or yeah, they know what I want. So but yeah, it's more thanking Lakshmi for the job she does, because I feel pretty abundant. I have a roof over my house. I have food in my stomach. You know, I don't really have to work a 9 to 5, so I'm satisfied and content for what I have, not what I don't have. So I don't really ask for too much. So when I do make a request, they know it's important. Like in my daughter's case, let's say it like that. So I'm saving up my request for a rainy
something
day.
Good.
Let's say like
yeah.
Like and it's more not for me, it's more for somebody else. You know, I feel pretty content and satisfied in the present moment. Let's say it like that.
Nice. Well, I was going to read some questions to Paul about from Mariana to him, but
is there more questions?
Paul, are you here?
Yeah, I got to plug in because I was almost out of battery.
Okay,
yeah,
I just had a couple questions from Mariana for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. With microdosing, you are not supposed to feel anything, not even stoned, but I totally understand. No worries, just asking.
Cool. I might try it sometime if I feel the need, but I'm gonna just try to wean myself off of, little by little off the alcohol, just not have as much as I usually do. So I think it's
Yeah,
manageable.
when you're ready.
There's a message for you.
There's a message for you. What is your message?
No,
That
but
was out of the blue.
that's the voice of Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh,
If you
yes.
recognize it, I just chose that as my message sound because I thought it sounded cool. That robot that went crazy and wouldn't let them back in the ships.
Mariana, let's see. I have such a beautiful painting in mind for Vedagurudev. It just came to me as a live picture or vision, but I don't know how to draw. Haha. What is your vision, Mariana?
Yeah, tell us what your painting is.
Yeah.
Veronica is a very excellent painter, so maybe she could put your vision to some paint.
Yeah. Maybe we've thought the same thing. I'm curious what your idea is. So when you're ready. So let's see. I don't know, like I feel like my energy's changed my husband because lately he's been apologizing a lot for his bad behavior and he's been kinder. And I think it's because of my energy. So like you were saying, like the tree, plants radiate to your energy and humans do. So I don't know, that was something that I've noticed.
Yeah, they would say like the sadhana you do indirectly affects the people around you. Like they don't know why they feel better, but they just feel better just from your aura, your energy radiating out. So it's like a byproduct that people in your family feel just by. They don't have to do the meditation with you, just by being around your energy. They pick up the good vibrations and the energy, so they're uplifted. So
Yeah,
I would say that's a high possibility. I feel that in my own family also, even though they're not directly here when I do my sadhana, they feel the energy and they feel uplifted and they don't know why. But it's a good byproduct of being in the surroundings of the environment of a yogi, I would say, for sure.
yeah. I don't know. He was all I can set up your headphones so you can listen better at your yoga class. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's nice of you. But yeah, he's not interested in the yoga class, but he just wants me to be happy, I suppose. So I don't know.
That's a good blessing also, so it's a good confirmation that things are going in the right direction.
Yeah, that I'm having an effect on other people.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
I was curious, have you ever done like a mantra japa for like 24 hours just nonstop? What's the longest you've done a mantra japa? Or have you carried it over into your sleep?
All in one time?
Yeah. Or if it's like 108, it was like the farthest you went.
No, I've done recently when my daughter was in surgery. I probably did Dan Van Tree's mantra 5 hours.
Wow.
So that was probably thousands of mantra japa. So like each mantra, like one mala, probably be like 10, 20 minutes. So 10 minutes, 60, so that would be a couple thousand. They have what's called minor Siti and major Siti. So minor Siti is like thousands of mantras. Major Siti is like hundreds of thousands of mantras. So there are people who have done, well, there's two ways. You could do mantra japa and stop and continue on the next day, or you could just continue through, which would be a long time, 24 hours. And you wouldn't stop for eating or anything. You would just continue on till you heard a click, right? Like once you hear a click, you're like, okay, that's enough, right? But you would just go on and on and on till you didn't feel a click. So it depends how you do it. There are some people that do mantra japa for like weeks, but they stop. And there are some people that do it for days and they stop. So it depends. Me, I'm trying to think what's the longest I've done it continuous. Like I would say recently when my daughter was in surgery, 5 hours, which was probably thousands. In the Himalayan mountains, I probably did it like 2 days continuous without sleep. So I would say that was probably major CT, which is like 100,000. But like minor CT, I've done many times, you know. And I like to keep, when I transition into sleep, I transition doing my malas. So I keep that loop even when I'm sleeping. So yeah, I would say I've done it indirectly, not physically consciousness, in a dream turiya state, probably 8 hours, 9 hours, however long I sleep. So I would, I like to continue that too. And sometimes I put on my phone like a loop of mantra japa, and I just listen to it while I'm sleeping also.
Nice.
So,
okay.
yeah, that's cool. So subconsciously it's taking me into that state also, you know. So I have different mantras for different days. Like Thursday, I would do Babaji's surrender mantra, or Babaji's, you know, I have different ones. It just depends what I like on a certain day. So yeah, so I have different things on different days. Like it just depends.
Cool.
So
yeah, whatever
I
you're
like to
feeling.
listen to it. Yeah, whatever I'm feeling. So
yeah,
I have
your
like
soundtrack.
a playlist on my iPhone, which is like you know, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know? So it depends, and it could vary. Like, you know, I feel it's Monday, but I feel like Babaji today. So I would usually do Shiva on Monday, Maruga or Brahma on Tuesday, Ganesh on Wednesday, Babaji on Thursday. Then I would do like Lakshmi or like Kali or Saraswati on Friday. Saturday, it's kind of whichever one I'm feeling, but Hanuman on Saturday. And then Sunday is kind of like yogic potluck, you know?
Yeah.
whichever
No
I
rules.
feel. There's like 10 different ones, and I feel certain ones on certain Sundays. But that's kind of the framework, but it doesn't really work out that way. I mean, I would say usually Wednesday or Thursday, I definitely stick to Ganesh or Babaji. And Friday, I usually pick like a Devi or like a goddess, you know, like whichever one. But the other days, I guess I stick to Shiva on Monday, but like the other days, I just play it by ear, you know, whatever I'm feeling, that's kind of how I go. So, and that includes like mantra japa before I go to sleep, or the listening to the mantra while I do sleep, you know.
I'm gonna try that.
And I notice when I do it like that, I don't ever have bad dreams, you know.
Yeah,
because the mantra overpowers whatever external Maya delusional thoughts I have. So
yeah, that's a great way to like focus your mind before you sleep. Wow.
And you're like in a blissful divine state in your dreams, whichever deity it is. So
yeah, I don't know why I asked you that. I was just thinking, how long could you do a mantra japa? Like, I guess as long as you can.
Could do it. You could. It's like samadhi. You could, when you're in that rhythm and you're in that mindset, you could just go forever and ever. I mean, you know. I mean, you could probably do it while you eat with one hand, mantra japa on, you know. you're thinking it, and so if you do it internally, you could do it way longer than you could do it externally, you know. But yeah, you could go as long as you want. I mean, there's no rule set, so.
Practice Being says, by the power of japa, the sense organs are subdued.
True. You
That's
kind
cool.
of what they call it, celibacy of the senses, like brahmacharya, which you still all your five senses, and you kind of how can I say it? Celibacy still your senses, your five senses. So when you're laser focused on your mantra japa, your distractions, your five senses have really no chance. So it kind of stills them. My guru used to say, do your mantra japa like you're walking a tightrope over the Himalayan mountains. Aware of the height below, but laser focused on the tightrope, which is your mantra japa. So that's kind of how I look at it. So
Nice.
when you really lock in on your mantra japa, you don't have time for distractions. So it indirectly calms your monkey mind or your mental clutter just by doing mantra japa. You're laser focused on the raksha bead. You're laser focused on the sound syllables, the bijas, and the mantra japa. So you don't have time for any external unnecessary noise.
I was thinking something about when you had your samadhi, like 5-day samadhi session. So were you sitting in lotus position the whole time?
No, I was sitting in half lotus, like now,
Okay.
which is lucky for me. I wouldn't have been
Yeah,
able to
that's
walk for a
painful.
month.
Right.
Even when you, like, let's say you go into samadhi and you come out like now, I could, like the windshield wipers, butterfly, you kind of I know how to loosen up your leg. But in the beginning, I couldn't even walk there was times I couldn't walk for a day. Like I had to literally like crawl to the chair. Like, my legs were like linguine or like spaghetti. They were gone, they didn't work at all. They were totally gone,
Did
So
that scare you?
that, a little bit, but not really, like I didn't think I was not gonna be able to walk. I just thought like, it takes a little while for my legs to warm up. They've been inactive for a while. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the more you do it, the more you get accustomed to it. But in the beginning, I would say, yeah, I was like, damn, I can't stand. Like you can't stand up. Like your legs are like, how would I put it? They buckle, So like if you try to stand up too much, you can't. Like you'll fall over. So I would just. The more I did it, the more I realized, okay, like my legs are totally gone. I need to warm them up, and then you start get feeling back in your legs. Like, but yeah, in the beginning, I was like, damn, I overdid it. That's why I tell people in our school, like, how long should I sit in full lotus position? Well, if you can't walk, it's too long, like have some moderation, don't be a dummy like Vedagurudev. Like he overdid it and then couldn't walk, right? And so it takes a while to get feeling in your body, but back then it took a lot longer, let's say, and it
The
is
other
kind of
thing,
scary because you're like, I can't stand up,
yeah.
but it comes back after a while. You just gotta warm up your legs. Yeah,
The
go
other
ahead.
thing I was thinking about was sleep deprivation. Like 5 days, you're really not sleeping. And, tons of studies have been done on, they experimented on people about sleep deprivation. But I guess in that state, that's a very relaxed type of state. But, you can, if you get sleep deprived too much, you kind of like lose it. You go crazy or whatnot. But, so I just wonder how it's able to withstand not having sleep, really.
Mm.
They would say it's a sleepless sleep state. So you're kind of slowed your body down to a point where it kind of indirectly recharges itself or nourishes itself with the prana. So it's not like being super awake and active doing stuff. It's more of a half sleep state and a half awake state. They would say, be aware of what is aware, which is basically like, I'm aware, but I'm not super active. I'm kind of reducing the charge on my battery as much as I can to prolong it, let's say, without recharging my battery. So they would kind of say it in that perspective. So sleep in that heightened awareness state, sleep is less necessary than it is for a normal person, let's say, because you're kind of in a sleeping dreamlike state already. So
Right.
it's like being aware of what is aware. That's what I would say. You're aware, but you're not aware. So it's kind of hard to explain. That's why they call it the sleepless sleep state. You're not sleeping, but you're kind of sleeping, you know? So but yeah, they could go in that state. I mean, depending, I don't know. Wow. I mean, they wouldn't need to recharge for a long time, depending on how accessible they were to getting the prana from the atmosphere and nourishing themselves. But it's highly possible.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Mariana is describing her painting, and it sounds beautiful. It's hard to describe the vision, Veronica. Well, it's a Himalayan view on the background, an empty road, and Vedagurudev walking the path alone, looking into the far lands ahead, serious and thoughtful look on his face, dressed almost like a hermit or like a monk, holding and carrying the lantern of divine light. The road on both sides are beautiful fields, soft long grass, flowers, birds, everything is alive. That is a painting for a guru. I'm like, wow.
And with a long gray beard and
Yeah.
ash smeared all over him.
Dreadlocks,
Wow.
ash, you know.
I'll have to think about this one.
Yeah, there's one picture that I have in our school where I'm looking up the Himalayan mountains. I have a red and white flag, and you know, it's you could see it's like the path is kind of laid out. I'll send that picture to you, Mariana. You see how close it is, but you see like the snow-capped mountains. You see the thousands of rocks, and you know the journey ahead. But yeah, I'm not holding a lantern. I'm holding the flag, the Babaji flag, red and white. But yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about a painting for you, but you always talk about Satu Pond Lake, how happy you were.
Mm.
And I was thinking, I don't know, you sent me that video of you with Babaji in the lake. I think it was the first time you went there and he kicked you in the lake. But when you're coming in and out of the lake, I don't know, like a baptism, when you're coming out and the swirls of water are around you. I don't know. I just visualize it. It's a beautiful image. So I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about. You in the lake coming out of it with holding Babaji.
I've got a question about the lake and the ice plunge. Did everybody do that, or were there some who opted not to get in the water?
Well, there are some that opt not to get in the water because they're scared of the coldness, but there are some who, like myself, has been waiting for days to get in that water, you know,
and they got kicked.
Yeah, so I sent a video to Veronica, which is basically when Ved Mooney filmed it when I was going in the water. So I was like easing in because it's like 1 degree above freezing. I don't even know how that water wasn't ice, but I guess because it moves, it wasn't ice. But I was like easing in, and it was like, whoo, whoo, you know, like, whoo, whoo, okay, you know, like it's super cold, and especially for me, like a tropical Miami, Thailand type of guy, it's kind of overwhelming. I'm not used to it. So I'm like easing in, and I felt this kick, invisible kick on my chest, and I just fell in the water, and it shows it in the video, right? And once I was in the water, I'm like, all right, I'm already in the water. So, you know, I went under the water 3 times, Jai Baba Ji, Jai Baba Ji, Jai Baba Ji, right? So it's the first 10 seconds are the harshest, right? Because you're like, oh man, this is super cold, you know, like it's 1 degree above freezing, and the water's kind of still, so it's not like moving, so it's like super cold. But yeah, once you get in, it's a blissful experience. And once I was in, then I swam in it every day, and I swam across it, and I was like, I saw on one of these yogic podcasts, the guy said he went to Satu Pond Lake and he saw a naga, which is a big, huge snake, like a serpent in there.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I didn't see that, because if I saw that, I'd be dead. It would have ate me the first. It was like, oh, tasty treat right here, Vedagurudev. So yeah, I swam across it. I swam the other way, you know. So it just became a blissful morning ritual, you know, to swim in it. But I'm sure there were some people like, this guy Vedgurudev's crazy as hell. That water's super cold, you know. But I enjoyed it. I look forward to it. I couldn't wait to get in there once I got there, actually.
Plus the spiky stones on your feet, you know, especially, you know,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Mm.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like those rocks in the Himalayan mountains are like razors. Like they're super sharp. There was one yogi who decided to walk up there barefoot, and his foot were all like, it looked like somebody took razors to his foot. Like it was messed up. Like his feet were like beef jerky. And I was like, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, that's another thing. When you get in there, those rocks are so sharp that you don't want to put your feet on the bottom. So you're almost forced to swim, you know? So that me too, right? So that's another thing. Like the cold on your, and you don't really want your feet on the bottom because it's super cold there. That's when you gotta get frostbite. So you kind of want to swim so your feet are up, you know, because it's way colder on the bottom than it is on the top. So yeah, all these things kind of point to you having to swim, right? If you're getting in there, you're gonna have to swim because the rocks are too sharp to stand up. Your feet are too cold on the bottom of the floor of the lake, and so you're kind of forced to swim. I would definitely say.
I think I'd be taking sponge baths.
Yeah, well, you never know, you know. But if Babaji sees you putting your sponge into the lake, he might kick you in, and you go head first, and then you're in the lake. And that was my thing. I'm like, I'm gonna ease my way in here. Pow, you know, all the way under. So maybe I'll put that video on our Kriya Yoga School so you can see it. You know?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it happens really fast, but it looks like you're just like something happened and you're stumbling back. So, yeah.
I got a nice invisible kick from Babaji.
Yeah, looks like something took you by surprise.
Like you walked all this way to ease in here, head first, Vedagurudev. All right.
You're like, Jai Babaji.
Jai Babaji.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some health benefit also to that very cold water.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. Like what do they call it? Cold shock proteins. So I enjoy it. Like I look forward to a cold plunge because it's like revisiting the Himalayan mountains, right? Going back, right? Oh yeah, my good friend, the ice cold Himalayan mountain waters.
So some people have like a freezer, you know, outside of their house where they keep water, and they'll like jump into they make their own cold plunge. Do you have that? Like your own self-made?
I tried to do that one time. Like I bought like a big, huge bucket and put a bunch of ice in it, but it's so hot in Thailand, the ice is melted to water in like 5 seconds. So I was like, well, that defeated the purpose. So every once in a while I go to like a sauna and they have like a cold bath, but it's like 50 degrees. It's not like freezing degrees. So, I mean, it's bearable, but still, that's probably the closest I could get. Yeah. But I tried to do that ice bath. Thailand's not the place for it because it's like instantly water, like I pour it in and they get in and it's 5 seconds it's water. So, like I need to find out a better approach. But yeah, that cold plunge, which is 50 degrees, is the closest I could get in Thailand.
I'm freezing with just the cold water from my shower if I don't put it on hot. That's how spoiled we've become. And when I went to the Philippines, they didn't have hot water, so I would bucket cold water over my head. But it was room temperature. It wasn't really cold at all, and just like the first one would like shock me a little bit. But I mean, that's like nothing compared to the freezingness up there. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
What about you,
Thailand? They don't have hot water, so I take a cold, but it's still like you said, like Philippines, like room temperature. So there's no need for hot water.
I've never done a cold plunge, but I'd like to. But I don't know. At home, I'll do the hot water like really hot, and then I'll switch it to cold and go back and forth to like shock my body.
Yeah, that's good too.
But yeah, that's on my bucket list. Or maybe I'll go to Satupan Lake if Babaji allows it. Or if he kicks me. So we'll see. But that's something I'd like to do. I think it would be good for me. So yeah. Practice being, he says, prolonged fasting, especially dry fasting, is a sure way to achieve the state of aware of being aware, pure awareness, unmistakable presence. It can be a challenge to come back to the world.
Yeah, true. I agree with you. Practice being like, in my case, prolonged fasting was indirect. I wasn't trying to fast. I just was in a heightened state of samadhi. Like you saying, aware of being what I was aware. That's how they define like samadhi, like, what do they say? The breathless state of communion with God. And I like to say like sunbathing in the grace of God, like pure awareness. So it is very hard to come back, actually, right? Like my guru, we have a rule in the Himalayan mountains: when someone's in samadhi, don't wake them up. The only reason my guru kind of took me out of the state of samadhi was because I haven't eaten in 5 days, and if I kept on, I'd probably not be here. I would probably shed my physical body. So I was like, it was like disorientated when I come back. Like, why did you wake me up? I was only in samadhi for 15 minutes. He was like, you dummy, you've been in there for 5 days. I was like, why didn't you wake me up? Like, he was like, you know the rules. We don't wake anybody up. I was like, so what are you doing now? Like, I was all like disorientated. Like, let me go back. Like, why did you take me out? And he was like, you don't understand. It's been 5 days. 5 days, you're going to die. You got to eat, I was like, what? Okay. Yeah. So it is hard to come back. Like, it took me like 20 minutes to like process it, like, or decompress or transition back into the world. Like, what? I don't want to come back. Like, and it's once you feel the bliss of samadhi, you don't want to come back. So it's hard too. You kind of have like a spotter or somebody, like, all right, it's been 5 days. He's got to come back. We got to break the rule, So, yeah. And it's happened for other people too. Like my guru sent me on a what do you call it? A dummy mission to wake somebody up out of samadhi. And it's the same thing. Like, why'd you do that? Like, most people are kind of like, they're mad that you took them out of that state. Let's say it like that. So once you're in that state, like, man, I was there, you know. So
Yeah.
Listen, I know the rules. I'm not supposed to wake you up, but you've been in there 7 days.
Yeah.
You know, tell me if you want to shed your body and go into Maha Samadhi, it's perfectly fine. You know, I'll stand back. But if you do still want to do some more work in this physical plane, you probably should eat something, you know? And when you eat, you don't eat like real food. You kind of drink water and work your way up to solid food, I would say, you know?
Yeah.
So it's more of a 2-day kind of liquid diet just to nourish yourself and
Yeah.
get yourself back. But some yogis take it too far. Like I think Kyle posted on our video, there was one picture of a yogi. His ribs were all up. His stomach was gone. You know, you almost, there are certain yogis who have become like, how would I put this? Like statues, like a petrified tree. They're still in there, but their body is gone where they can't come back. So you kind of, it's a thin line to walk, you know? Like if you want to go to that state, it's perfectly fine. But if you don't want, maybe I should spot you and bring you back.
Yeah.
So I'm glad my guru brought me back, because if he didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be one of those statues in the Himalayan mountains. Like I'm in there, but I can't come back to my physical body. So I'm somewhere, but I'm nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of those monks that like petrify, they become petrified after
Right.
they also leave the body, and then they leave behind their, you know, almost like a statue, you know. So wow.
Right. Yeah, you become petrified, and once you become petrified, you can't go back to your body because it's useless. It's a statue now. So you're almost forced to make the full transition. So you got to make a decision whether you want to go petrified or you want to in the world of the world, you know. So that's why they kind of stop you, because they see you kind of bordering on that petrified state, you know. Like if you want to go that route, the route's there, but if you don't, you got to stop now. So that's kind of how they stop you, you know, I would say. But yeah, interesting. Let me
I don't know.
put
I
my
had,
feet down one
yeah,
second.
stretch out, be comfortable. So I'll have dreams where like I'm driving a car and the brakes don't work and I'm driving really fast and I can't stop it, or something's coming after me that wants to kill me, but it's like I always wake up before possible death. There's no way to verify this, but if you die in your dreams, do you think you die in real waking life?
Oh no, that's a good question. You know, like do your dreams become realities? That is a good question. I mean, sometimes I would say in my case, like when I first got on the path of Kriya Yoga, I had horrible dreams like that. Like I was dying, monsters were chasing me, all kinds of stuff. And I began to see it was kind of my ego shedding. Like I was kind of, the fruit was detaching from the tree. Like they say, Om Namah Shivaya, Trayambaya, Yaja Mahe. So like the fruit is detaching, your soul is detaching from the tree. So like you're shedding your ego, which it tries to fight you. And this is a symbolization of it fighting you on the way out, you know? So for those first 3 months, it was, I didn't want to go to sleep. Let's say it like, I was like, here we go, another war again tonight. But after that, it becomes more gradual and it becomes a more blissful state that you get in, that it's almost like a symbolization that you're letting go of your Maya delusion, your ego that no longer serves you. So it's kind of letting go. So the ego is chasing you, but you're running away from it because you see it as a liar or a toxic entity or person. So you kind of let it go. So, but I don't know. I think it's highly unlikely that you could, like when I had these dreams, I never died. It was almost like
Yeah,
up
I
to
never
that point,
die. Something happened.
and then I wake up. So it never happened, but it was kind of scary at the time, let's say, but like yeah, it gets better. Just keep overcoming and realize that you're the king of your castle, and you're in control. And no matter whatever scary horror movies these astral parasites or negative entities try to show you, it can't affect you. So if you stay in a fearless state, you won't worry about any of this. You'll laugh at it like the joke it is. That's why I like when Babaji says, death is a joke to me. I am the death of death. So if we laugh at death, we laugh at anything. Like, so I'm not scared of dying at all. Like
Yeah, I don't really
most of
shouldn't be
these
scared.
most of these songs in yoga are all about like making the transition. The highest state of yoga is Mahasamadhi, right? And that's leaving your physical body and moving on. So they're always welcoming that. They look forward to it. Most of these songs, that's what they're about, like, like the fruit is detaching from the branch. Your soul is leaving your physical body, so they look forward to it. So no matter what happens, just stay in a fearless state, and it really can't affect you. Just laugh at the horror movie like the joke it is. Like, oh, I don't believe this at all, So
Yeah.
and you should be fine.
Yeah, and sometimes in my dreams there'll be like a voice guiding me to like go here, go there. It kind of reminded me of your Babaji story when you were at the concert and those guys wanted to beat you up. So I was thinking, I don't know if it's Babaji, but there's like maybe my higher self or a guardian angel or something. But I feel like I was protected in my dreams too. So
Yeah, when
maybe,
you have that realization, you realize you can't be hurt, and the dream has no effect on you because you realize the ascended masters, the higher enlightened beings protect you. So all these fake stories or these horror movie projections can't affect you because you don't believe it.
yeah, I guess there's nothing to be afraid of.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Yeah.
I'm going to turn in, guys. I also
Okay.
had the pleasure of getting a shot in my eye today, so my eyes are kind of blurry and tired. But I've been trying to get that new drug. They still haven't gotten it for me, but I might have made a progress. So we'll see if maybe next time I'll get it, because I found a new phone number for them to fax it into. So, and somebody that they could talk to. So maybe we'll get it done this next time. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Well, wish you all the best, Paul. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your insights and your profound comments always.
Thanks.
So take care.
Enjoyed being here. Have a good evening.
We enjoyed having you. You too. Take care.
Well, I have to get going in 20 minutes, but yeah, I have more questions.
Okay, yeah. Let me know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll stop like 3:50 because we'll get in our private mantra japa session.
Yeah. Let's see. I was curious if have you ever gotten teachings non-verbally? Have you been, I don't know, received teachings non-verbally? Or was this
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like there are certain places, like let's say Ramayana Maharishi's ashram, where just being in the presence you get teachings and you get insights. And in yoga they say silence is the best teacher. So they're always emphasizing the non-verbal teachings are the best teachings, the most profound teachings. So yeah, I would definitely say like just being in the presence of different enlightened beings or self-realized masters, you definitely get heightened teachings, and you come to a heightened state of awareness for sure.
Yeah, I guess silence is the best teacher.
Silence is
Whoa.
the best teacher for sure. Yeah.
Let's see.
If anybody has any comments on YouTube, post them in there before we wrap
Yeah.
it up.
Does the use of mudras when you're meditating make it more powerful?
It depends. It varies for different people. Some people enhance their practice with mudras, and some people mudras aren't that effective. So it just depends on you. Like I would try it out. I mean, I personally like I've been doing for almost 4 hours, hold
Yeah.
Yan mudra, you know. I just do it indirectly. It's like second nature at this point, but it depends what works best for you. Like I whatever you do, I wouldn't force it. I would just let it happen naturally. Like if you just put your hands in that state, they normally gravitate to that, or maybe they wouldn't gravitate to that. So there's no real right or wrong way to enhance your practice. Some people like to do like this, like just palms on their hands, or some people used to like to use mudras like Yan mudra, or different mudras, Dhyan mudra, meditation, like a bowl kind of here, you know,
Yeah.
or whichever, you know, Hakini mudra on your eyebrow chakra, Uttatara Bhuti on your heart chakra. So it just depends. And that
Yes.
reminds me, I started posting on the Babaji quotes a different mudra every day. I started
okay.
yesterday. I don't know if you saw, right? So I think the
I'll have to
first one
check
is
that.
Uttatara Bhuti, right? So I'll change the mudra every day. I think I have 30 different mudras.
Oh,
So
cool.
it should rotate per month. Yeah, I just started yesterday. So
Okay. I'll have to look at that again. Well, I was just thinking like
yes,
the hands are like an antenna. I was just thinking that would add something to it.
yeah. So they would say the hand gestures you do with your hands and mudra is like closing the circuit. So your energy, your prana, your shakti is flowing through your body, and you're kind of sealing the circuit where it can't like seep out or leak out of your body. So it's a good way to seal your body. So that's the way they would say it. So like Shanmukhi mudra, you're sealing the 7 gates. You know, Kechari mudra, you're sealing the prana to your pineal gland. So it's like that's basically what they would say, like sealing. You know, it keeps in the energy. So you're holding in the energy inside yourself when you do a mudra.
Nice. What would you say is the one thing that is absolutely necessary to progress on your path to spirituality? Or is there one?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything necessary. I would just say my best advice for that I found on the spiritual path is just keep a positive attitude, always stay happy, always don't get attached to any kind of narrative or ego play. Always stay in equanimity, always wake up with a smile on your face, enjoy nature, and enjoy as much as you can. One of my favorite Sitas is called Boganantar. Bogar means enjoyer. He just enjoyed everything. He didn't nothing he didn't enjoy. If he was going to do it, he was going to enjoy it. So just enjoy life as much as you can. Wake up with a smile on your face. Help as many people as you can. Be as happy as you can. Don't get attached to anything. Just kind of become the detached witness. Just laugh and smile as much as you can, and just kind of look at this Maya delusional world like the joke it is, the comedy show, the monkey show, the clown show that it is, and just detach and get your popcorn and just sit back and enjoy the show and watch it and not get attached to it. And you begin to realize you enhance what helps you in the present moment. So do what uplifts you in the present moment. You begin to realize that it doesn't matter who's president or what Kim Kardashian wears to the Grammy or who won the NBA championship. That really doesn't serve you in the present moment. So you start to cultivate and do stuff that and give your energy to things that help you uplift you in the present moment. So you become more sovereign, or you become more the king of your castle. You become more in control, and you start focusing on your energy that helps you do your inner work and uplifts you in the present moment. And what this person said or what that person says, you realize you can't control the outcome or anything. So you don't really attach to it at all. And you become more of a free bird that flies around and has freedom, and you're not in anybody's cage. No one can cage you. No one can control your thoughts. No one can control your happiness. And you begin to realize happiness is internal, not external. So if you're searching for happiness in material things, you begin to realize that you have all the happiness that you need inside you as you. So you begin to cultivate that, and you begin to do your inner work and go to your happy place as much as you can. And that really starts to uplift you and make you a better person.
Yeah.
So
Less
that I would say that's probably my best advice, but I'm still feeling my way around in the dark also. So I don't have all the answers, but I don't think you could go wrong with loving people, helping people, doing the best you can. I think you should always be good.
Yeah. Practice Being says, God bless all of you till we meet again. Till we meet again.
God bless you too. Practice Being till we meet again. We'll be back here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same channel, next week, Wednesday.
Yeah. Till we meet again.
Till we meet again. Stay blissful out there on these streets.
Yeah, why so serious? Stay blissful.
Why so serious? Stay blissful. Stay happy no matter what. Don't let anything shake your happiness. No matter what happens in the world, like we were saying earlier, aliens, war, whatever happens, stay blissful always, my friend.
See, are there chosen ones or who are more in tune spiritually than the average person, or are we all chosen?
I would say we're all chosen. Some are more realized than others. My guru used to say there are two types of beings, realized beings and unrealized beings. So just because you're a realized being doesn't mean anybody else could be a realized being. I like to think of myself like before I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, I was totally unrealized. So if I could wake up and get realized, then anybody could wake up and get realized. So I would say it's available for everybody. There's just some people that seek bliss in ignorance. Let's say they don't want to become realized because they're happy in their habits. Let's say it like that. So they're in love with the chain that enslaves them. So anybody could be chosen. I don't think it's only for a certain amount of people. It's for everybody. It just depends if you want to do the inner work and become realized, or you want to not do the inner work and stay in ignorance. So there was one quote I saw by Babaji that I really like. He says, climb the ladder up to bliss or climb the ladder down to ignorance. Up to you, So you really make the choice whether you want to be chosen or not, whether you want to do the inner work or not. So I would say that it's not special for anybody. Just certain people have done more of the inner work than other people. And, you know, it's like exercising. You can't get muscles or abs just by sitting on the couch. You have to actually do the work at the gym to get that to that place. So same thing. You have to do your inner work. And if you do your inner work, you should be perfectly fine. It's a bit, if I could do it, anybody could do it. I'll say it like that. I was like, I'm no success story. I just did the inner work. Let's say it like that.
Let's see. Mariana says, I have such a headache, guys. I am listening. I am finishing my sadhana now as I am listening to you. It takes me an hour and 15 minutes, including all the asanas. I do pranayamas and meditation helps a lot. Thank you, Kriya Yoga.
Thank you, Mariana, for your dedication to your sadhana. I know it takes a little bit of discipline, but it'll all be worth it. You know, like I did a lot of hard sadhana and tapas in my life, and I wouldn't change a thing. I look back on it. I'm glad I put in the inner work. I did the inner work, and thank you, Kriya Yoga. I agree with you. Thank you, Babaji. All the glory to Babaji and Kriya Yoga and all the ascended masters who have laid the path and the blueprint for us. Truly a blessing.
So like if a new student comes to school and they feel overwhelmed by everything we offer, what advice would you have for a new student that just feels overwhelmed?
Just go at your own pace. There's no rush. Go at your own pace. The videos aren't going anywhere. If you need some time, I would sign up to our Kriya Yoga School for a year, like many of our students have, and go at your own pace. Go at your own time. You know, if you can't make it to our Saturday class, it's on demand. I upload it later, and you can just watch it back and go at your own pace. Pause it. I know daily life calls. A lot of our members have families.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to neglect anything. Don't neglect your work. Just go at your own pace and, you know, do what works best for you. Like if you want individual classes, we have classrooms for individual mantras, individual meditations, individual asanas, individual pranayamas, individual mudras. And just go at your own pace. If you can't make it to our yagnas, just send in your request, email it to me. I'll burn it up and watch it back later when you're ready. I mean, a lot of our students go at their own pace, so no pressure. Take your time. You know, don't get overwhelmed. Just meditate, relax, go at a comfortable pace that works for you. And if you need help, we're always here. We're always available. So send me a message on the school DM, email me, however you want to do. Come on the class, ask questions. Come on the satsang, ask questions. And go at your own pace. You know, what feels right to you, that is the best pace.
Mariana says, Jai, Babaji.
Jai, Babaji. Absolutely.
I think you just answered this, but what would you say slows down our spiritual awakening?
Getting distracted, getting too attached to your ego, caring what other people think about what you do, just making other people's perception become your perceptions. All this can slow down and distract you or block you on the path or give you resistance on the path. But if you just surrender yourself to the path, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to use my own discernment, I'm going to do the techniques that really uplift me and make me feel the best, then you'll be perfectly fine. And you'll be able to shed all this. We have many techniques, Patanjali's emotional release techniques. I mean, pretty much all of our meditations and pranayama are letting go of the distractions, focusing on your breath, mastering your mind through meditation, suti, cleansing your mind and purifying your mind before you go into meditation. So letting go of all the distractions, just focusing what serves you the best in your present moment. That would probably be my best suggestion.
Nice. I think my last question will be, you talk about the power of kindness. Why is kindness so powerful?
Kindness is so powerful because it's emotion that is better than money. It just uplifts you and makes you feel good being kind to people with no expectations. It's just a uplifting emotion that really helps other people, but helps you and in turn. So it's like a collective uplifting, being kind to people. You can never go wrong. So like karma yoga, they say, is the highest form of yoga, which is selfless service, helping people without any expectations or rewards of getting something back. In that state, you can never go wrong because you're always uplifting people and being kind to them and loving people, being kind to people, being compassionate to people. How can you ever go wrong? It's the best feeling of all, so be as kind and loving and compassionate to people as you can, and you can never go wrong.
Sounds like a good thing to be. Be as kind as we can be. Yeah.
Be as kind as you could be. You can never go wrong.
I think that's a good way to go out.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent way to end our May 14th Kriya Yoga Q&A Satsang here at the Kriya Yoga School. So, if you think you could be helped by Kriya Yoga, discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga 100% free. Go to freekriyayogamasterclass.com. It's 100% free. And if you need help and you want to book a call with me, Vedagurudev, go to kriyayogamasterclass.com. Click on the book a call with me. A calendar will come up. Pick the time and date that you want to go on a call with me, and we'll try to solve your problems. And if you're ready to go to the big leagues, go to the Kriya Yoga School Masterclass. 50% off right now, $50 a month, $250 a year. We have over 200 classes on asanas, pranayama, meditation, mudras, mantra japa, everything. And we have a full moon holy yagnifier, which we just had on Monday. And we have a new moon holy yagnifier where our members send in their problems and we burn them up. And we pray for all our members. And we have a great Saturday live class. It usually goes 2 hours where we demonstrate 2 new techniques every week. And you could feel free to ask questions anytime. We're 100% available. So, but yeah, if you're interested, book a call with me, Kriya Yoga School Masterclass, and I'll get on a call with you. But if you want to do it yourself, go free Kriya Yoga School, freekriyayoga.com, and join our school. It's 100% free. It costs nothing. We're not going to try to upsell you. We just want you to be the best person you could be. So I guess with that said, we'll end our May 14th Kriya Yoga Q&A Satsang here at the Kriya Yoga School. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shalom. Sat Nam Sadhu Tao Om Spirit. Swami Kami. Amen, amen. Omen Selah Om.
Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Babaji